The story opens with Ginadella Closier standing before a dark room, much like her life. A stern voice declared, "Then I officially announce the commencement of the meeting regarding the expulsion of Ginadella Closier." Hearing this, the girl's face clearly showed fear. All the adults present used derogatory words to describe Ginadella. The child is a disgrace to the family. From the beginning we should not have believed that beggar. I am certain this child has no connection to the Closier family. She is just useless, unable to summon even a low-level spirit, while Aquis could summon a mid-level spirit at age 10. Ginadella's mood became somber. She could only lower her head and listen to everyone talk about her. Before entering here, I was prepared to hear these words, but it is so unpleasant. Anyway, this is my last day here. People continued to whisper and gossip about Ginadella. As we suspected, it is impossible for a useless child like that to be a descendant of the great Pave Closier. The judge, standing before everyone in the family, solemnly said, "It seems everyone has expressed their opinion. So then, Ginadella will be expelled and her name removed from the family register. Raise your hand if you agree." Hands were raised simultaneously without any hesitation. Seeing the ruthlessness everyone had towards her, Ginadella was extremely sad, but she still held back her emotions. "I must not cry, father will hate me." But the last person she trusted also raised his hand, agreeing to expel her from the family. Ginadella could not believe this was the truth. Even father. After receiving everyone's opinions, the judge officially announced, "We have absolute consensus. I declare that Ginadella will be expelled from the Closier family." Tears of heartbreak began to stream down Ginadella's cheeks. Not stopping there, the judge further announced, "Ginadella will be stripped of the right to use the family name and title." The sky in her heart completely collapsed. Pave Closier, the founder of the Closier family, a legendary figure who established the renowned spirit mage family. Thanks to the sacred protection of the founder, members with Closier blood have been spirit mages since birth. Those who inherit the Closier bloodline are always born with a distinctive appearance, but are gifted with the ability to make contracts with spirits. Depending on the attributes of the spirits, their hair and eye color will change upon awakening. The children of this generation are particularly talented. The first child has made a pact with a fire spirit. The second and fourth children have contracted with wind and water spirits. Except for me, Ginadella, the third child of this generation, everyone. After learning that his sister had been expelled from the family, Ginadella's younger brother ran to mock her. "Serves you right." The girl turned her head and called him with the affectionate name, Quiz. But he showed contempt for Ginadella. "Don't call my name so casually. You are no longer a member of the Closier family. It is so relieving that I no longer have to call you sister." As he spoke, he used his power to splash water in Ginadella's face. "A farewell gift from me. Oh, and one more thing, be careful when you leave the house." She was puzzled by her brother's warning. "What do you mean?" Aquis made a sinister face and revealed a secret to Ginadella. "I have never heard of those who lost the name Closier. Farewell, Ginadella." And so, on a dark and cold evening, Ginadella officially left the mansion. She stood looking inside with a reluctant expression. "They really kicked me out of the house. I wanted to say goodbye to father too." Tears of sadness welled up in Ginadella's eyes. But a few seconds later, she had to forget her sadness and regain her spirits. "No, I am no longer a Closier. What should I do to survive?" Ginadella left with a chaotic mess of thoughts in her head. After walking for a while, she discovered a stream right in front of her. So she ran to look at her face reflected in the water. Pale hair and eyes, a useless 11-year-old girl who can't even summon a low-level spirit. Lost in thought, Ginadella suddenly remembered something. She hurriedly sat down and rummaged through the bag she carried with her. Food. She thought there would be some delicious delicacy, but it turned out to be just a small potato. But this much was enough to warm Ginadella's heart. "Potatoes. They gave me what I like best, huh?" Suddenly, a squirrel ran down from a tree. Seeing it, Ginadella turned and started talking to it. "So cute, are you hungry, do you want to eat with me?" So she shared a little potato with the little squirrel. Seeing it eat so deliciously, Ginadella was also happy. "That is right, there is nothing to be afraid of anymore. I should not worry like that. Anywhere is fine, just keep going." The squirrel startled and stared at Ginadella as if it had discovered something. She curiously asked, "What is wrong, don't you like potatoes?" "Is there someone behind me?" Ginadella asked as she turned around to check. Suddenly, a hand reached out from nowhere, ruthlessly pushing Ginadella into the stream without any mercy. "I told you it is best to be careful. Someone like you does not deserve the name Closier." While being submerged in the water, Ginadella managed to open her eyes and look carefully. Two people. She tried to use her last bit of strength to open her eyes and see clearly. Father's subordinates. After completing their task, the two men turned and left. Ginadella also let go, resigning herself to fate. Well, it does not matter anymore. It is the same out here anyway. The girl closed her eyes, her tears mixing with the stream. Maybe it is better this happened early. I can die as a closier. Memories of living in the mansion suddenly flooded Ginadella's mind. If I were not so useless, I could have. If only I had not been abandoned. This is a fitting end for someone useless, is not it? Ginadella's hand began to relax, no longer feeling anything. Her body sank deeper and deeper to the bottom of the river. Suddenly, Ginadella felt something strange happening to her body. What suddenly my body is starting to move. As if someone was controlling her every action. What is happening? Pave Closier, the most powerful mage in history, who represented the spirit of an era with immense power recognized by the Spirit King, had severed all ties with the world and freed herself from her body 150 years ago. Because of that, she became a part of the world. Or so it should have been, but after climbing ashore, Ginadella hurriedly wrung out her clothes and flicked the water off her hands. What the hell is going on? Ginadella looked at herself in the stream and wondered, was I reincarnated? No, if that were the case, I would have lost all my memories and started over. Let us see the memories of this body. Ginadella will be expelled and her name removed from the family register. I have never heard of someone losing the Closier name. What should I do to survive now? This is a fitting end for someone useless like me, is not it? After reviewing all of Ginadella's painful memories, Pave, living as Ginadella, was filled with indignation for the girl. These bastards dare to torture and assassinate a weak child just because she has no power. It is unacceptable. Pave shouted loudly, I, the founder of the Closier family, Pave Closier, will punish you. First, I will strip away the spirit's protection that they are so proud of. But nothing special happened. Pave was extremely bewildered. Why am I? A peaceful night with a clear moon and gentle breeze. Pave sat by the stream and pondered. Right, this weak and small body does not have enough magic power to cast high-level magic. Early the next morning in town, everyone was spreading a shocking piece of news. Hey, have you heard the news? I heard there was a fire last night in the Closier family mansion. Everyone was startled when they heard it. Why? I heard a silver candlestick in the wine cellar was knocked over. If that is the case, nobody would notice if one or two items were missing. Right, now officially living as Ginadella, Pave stared longingly at the candy stall in front of her. It looks so delicious. So she quickly pointed and told the owner, give me a piece of chocolate. Pave nibbled on the candy while admiring Crovarty City. This city is still the same. I am glad I had enough magic to sneak into the mansion. If anything is missing, they will probably think it was due to the fire. Now I need to diligently increase my magic power, but practicing the old way takes too much time, and conventional methods are not suitable for me. If that is the case, then the only option is to use money. The ultimate elixir to increase magic power, Dragonstone, also known as Dragon Heart. Pave stopped by a shop on the street. And the easiest place to find it is. She pulled the rope to ring the bell and call the shopkeeper. After waiting for a long time, a large hand slammed down on the counter. Finally, the shopkeeper appeared. What is it, little girl? Pave quickly replied. I am here to participate in the auction. He looked at her with disdain and seriously said, this is not a place for just anyone, you know. Why do not you go home before you get into trouble? Faced with his arrogant attitude, Pave glared angrily and asked, hey doorman, do I look like a child? Looking at Pave's murderous face, the man was startled. It looks like a child, but what is with this scary aura? So he had to lead Pave inside. I will take you inside, follow me. There were also many guests attending today's auction along both sides of the corridor. Pave went to a counter inside the shop. Upon seeing her, the clerk greeted her warmly. Welcome, honored guest. Pave placed all her jewelry on the counter and said, I want to sell these. The clerk quickly picked them up to examine them. Meanwhile, Pave took the opportunity to ask him, I heard that there will be some special items today. Hearing that, he asked back, do you mean the sword used by Lord Waleka, the companion of the Great Spirit Mage Pave Closier? Pave gasped in surprise upon hearing the phrase Great Spirit Mage. He honestly recounted, yes, somehow it comes back here quite often. After a while of checking, the clerk carefully asked her opinion. These items are all of high quality. How much do you want to sell them all for? Without thinking twice, Pave immediately set the price. 5 million. He asked again to confirm, excuse me, are you sure about such a low price? Pave nodded in confirmation. Yes, consider the extra amount as a brokerage fee. The transaction was successfully completed. All right then, as you wish. He handed Pave a ticket and announced, "Welcome to the auction. Please enjoy your time here." While Pave was busy with her next plan, a suspiciously dressed man, completely covered up, suddenly appeared nearby. He stared at Pave as if he had some intention. With her intuition, she quickly sensed that someone was watching her. So she immediately turned to look. But found nothing unusual. "I feel like I am being watched. Or maybe it is just my imagination." The man quickly hid in another corner to avoid being detected. "I knew it, it really is her, is not it? This feeling can't be wrong. Why have you appeared again, Pave Closier? I apologize for the long wait, everyone. The Clobetil Branches Summit auction will now officially begin." While introducing the first item, the host removed the covering cloth. "This is the sword of Lord Waleka, companion of the great spirit mage, Pave Closier. It contains incredibly powerful dragon magic energy, and it may hold unparalleled power. This item has been returned to the auction house quite frequently, and we have yet to find its true owner. This sword looks quite beautiful. The stone embedded in the hilt emits a very captivating light." The host continued to lead the atmosphere. "Will the true owner of this short sword appear among you today?" As he introduced the sword, Ginadella Closier, sitting below, silently thought, "That is surprising. That damn Waleka. Who could subdue this troublesome sword? No wonder it keeps coming back and being auctioned off again." The host started the bidding. 10,000. Ginadella Closier quickly raised her sign. The starting price is 10,000, but she unexpectedly bid 5 million. She thought to herself, "At this price, probably no one will be able to compete with me. After this troublesome sword is in my hands, I can manage it better." As night fell over the entire town, as expected, Ginadella Closier left with the sword. As she walked, she muttered, "They call me the Great Spirit Mage. Isn't there a more pleasant nickname? But I will think about that later." Ginadella looked around for a moment, then took the sword out of her bag. "The heart of a half-dragon is just a small fragment, but it is enough to enhance my power." After saying that, she reached out and took the stone from the sword. The more she looked at it, the more she found it truly captivating. "It is definitely something extraordinary." Ginadella held the stone up and admired it for a moment. "Now let us see how much power I can gain from that exorbitant amount of money." Ginadella Closier quickly swallowed the stone. Soon it reacted. This magic power is becoming wild, just like its owner's personality. At this time, the best thing I can do is not try to suppress it. No magic power in this world can overwhelm my soul. I just need to be patient and it will soon belong to me. And indeed, Ginadella Closier was able to absorb the stone without much effort. "Great, now I am at least a mid-level mage." Before she could finish speaking, a voice suddenly rang out behind her. Startled, Ginadella lost her balance and fell onto the street. This guy looks like a ninja with a tightly wrapped scarf, making him hard to recognize. She recognized him as the person who appeared at the event earlier. He concealed his presence all this time. There is no way I would not have noticed him. How could I be so careless? Ginadella observed him with heightened vigilance. Looking him up and down, there is no doubt he seems very strong. The man did not say much, directly removing the scarf covering his head. He said loudly, it is me, Waleka, long time no see." This move was something Ginadella could not have anticipated. Waleka is a mage with half-dragon blood. He is the only grand mage officially active in this kingdom. 150 years ago, he was one of the 3 people who served under Pave Closier. Besides him, there was the genius swordsman Aaron, the king's sword, and Selbatus, an elf friend of Pave Closier. Waleka, as her disciple, despite having the fiery and dangerous nature of a dragon, always trusted Pave Closier with unwavering loyalty. Waleka slowly walked towards Ginadella. Then he lifted her up. "Oh, I can't believe I can see Master again. This guy has not changed a bit, huh? Why are you in a child's body? Is it really you, Master? This is not a dream, is it? That is a really foolish question. Do you think anyone has a stronger soul than your master? It is true, who else could absorb a dragon heart like it is nothing? Can I pinch your cheek? This guy is really driving me crazy. Know your place, do not get so excited." Ginadella looked like she wanted to bite him a few times. Seeing his master get angry, he slowly put her down and said, "You are so cold. It has been 150 years since you have seen your beloved disciple again." "Speaking of which, what happened?" Waleka asked. "I do not know either." "Oh, so you want me to guess?" "No, I really do not know. I do not mean I do not want to tell you." Hearing this, Waleka started to look dumbfounded, a foolish smile on his face. What even Master does not know? The binding spell you cast on your soul to control and restrain that power is still there. Or you did not want to die, so you moved your soul without me knowing. What, you are saying that I, Pave Closier, feared death and used dark magic like soul transfer? Say another nonsense like that, and I will sew your mouth shut. So, why are you in the body of such a frail girl? This guy kept asking even after being told she did not know. Truly frustrating. So, should we investigate this first, Master? Investigating the source seems quite important. But first, Ginadella still had something to do. When asked, she only said it was temporarily called revenge. It is unacceptable that such a shameful and humiliating event happened within the Closier family. The power I bestowed upon them, along with their honor and pride. I swear I will take everything away, not even allowing them to beg for their lives. Hearing that, Waleka also spoke up. I do not know the details, but I will always follow your will, Master. So please tell me what I should do. No, I will handle this matter personally. I will take revenge with my own hands, using this girl's body. Waleka seriously asked, so where are we going now? I do not have enough magic power yet. I need more elixirs and artifacts. The more he listened to Ginadella, the more bewildered Waleka became. I need to punish those fools as soon as possible. I am leaving. You should leave too. I will contact you when I am done. Seems like any handsome guy would be cool like this guy. Before his master could finish speaking, he interrupted. He called his master to turn back and then slowly walked towards her. Are you leaving just like that? It has been so long since we have seen each other. Can you stay with me a little longer? With a sad and quiet look, Waleka said, do you know how much I have longed to see you again, even just once, for the past 150 years? It has been 150 years. Master. For you, it is just a blink of an eye, but for me, it is different. Waleka's words surprised Ginadella. She did not expect him to have waited for her for so long. Waleka continued. His voice choked with emotion. I won't keep you long, just being by your side for a little while is enough. The atmosphere between the two was awkward. Ginadella realized that her reaction had made him sad. To comfort Waleka's fragile heart, she gently took his hand and apologized. With a sincere attitude she said, I ignored your feelings. Can I hug this foolish master with such sparkling wide eyes, who could stay mad any longer? Waleka quickly hugged his master, deeply moved that she had recognized his sincerity. But it seemed the height difference was a bit big, so it looked like an older brother hugging his younger sister. Ginadella gently patted Waleka's shoulder to comfort him. Have you become such a spoiled child since I left? If you want, you can come with me on this trip. You can't interfere with my revenge, but being by my side is not a problem. Ginadella said that as if she was paving the way for a deer to run. Waleka's tears immediately stopped flowing. At first, he laughed in excitement and joy like a child whose mother just agreed to buy him candy. But the more he laughed, the more frightening his voice became. Ginadella immediately spoke up to lecture this disrespectful student. What in the world are you sewing in your belly? Be quiet. Waleka came up with the idea of finding food to both fill his stomach and please his master. Let us find something to eat together. We can talk about parting ways later. But Ginadella was already angry, so he gave up. But Waleka understood the personality of this adorable little master too well. Don't you want to know how many new chocolate flavors have come out since you have been gone? But this still was not enough to convince her to stop being angry. He had to continue his attack. The praline candies from Balder are trending lately. They have honey syrup and are coated with a lot of chocolate. Moreover, they are very special because of the fresh mint flavor combined with the bittersweet taste of cherry. Ginadella seemed to be wavering. Oh, that does not sound bad. And after that, a series of words provoked the appetite of his master. Recently, I have partnered with a dessert distributor and received some new samples. But I have too much stock, so it is a bit difficult for me to handle them. What do you think, master? I will leave some for you to taste and evaluate. In the end, Ginadella still succumbed to the temptation of food. Since you have put it that way, how can I refuse? Let us go and see. Waleka was excited that his persuasion had succeeded. Hooray, you have helped me a lot. But his master was not finished. I'm only staying here for a day. But that was enough for her student. I know you are very busy. All right, let us go. We do not have much time. Since you are my master, I will prepare a special seat for you. Hearing that, Ginadella just sighed in exasperation. Honestly, you are only good with your mouth. The two finally arrived at Waleka's house to enjoy the food. Here, the master was enthusiastically cared for by her disciple. Try this too, master. All right. As expected of a chocolate enthusiast, Ginadella tasted the chocolate very professionally and carefully gave her comments. This nougat candy is very pleasant to eat, but the white chocolate coating is a bit too sweet. Oh, what about this one? Me see. Without needing a second bite, she knew the flaw of this cake. The coating does not have enough butter. This made Waleka extremely proud to have such a master. As expected of master, even professionals are subdued by you. What about this one, master? Each type received Ginadela's comments. Everything is very delicate, all that. However, the chocolate is delicious, but it seems like I have forgotten something. Waleka immediately asked, forgotten what? Her master's answer was, my purpose in coming to Klobatil was to collect elixir and enhance my magic power, but I am still near Krovarti. But Waleka did not understand the meaning of those words. What are you talking about, master? We are not there anymore. This time it was Ginadela's turn to ask in bewilderment, what do you mean? He innocently replied, we are in the capital Kupram, about 3,000 kilometers away, master. Ginadela was stunned. Oh my god, that far. This guy is a half-dragon, so he can travel long distances. Why could she forget this? Seeing his master's unpleasant expression, Waleka said, returning to Krovarti will be difficult, especially with that child's body. Do you need my help? Today was tiring enough for Sukan. It is okay, I have a plan, but not today. I am exhausted. With a hospitable person like Waleka, it was an honor for his master to stay. Let me lead you to the bedroom. I have already prepared a room for you. We can go up there now. But before he could finish his sentence, Ginadela had already fallen asleep. Seeing his master not responding, the disciple came closer to check the situation. And he could only sigh in helplessness. Oh, are you asleep? This little master was really easy to feed and take care of. Waleka transformed into a warm young man, carrying Ginadela to her room to rest. Let us go. Good night, master. Soon morning came. Little Ginadela had already woken up and came to call her lazy student. Look what time it is. It is too late. You deliberately woke up late, did not you? Waleka, half asleep, replied, think about your current body, master. Children need enough sleep, you know. But none of those words reached his master's ears. Don't make excuses. I do not have any more time. I have to go now. Hearing that his master had to leave, Waleka remembered the item he had prepared for her. Right, master, I have prepared this for you. Carry this with you. I have put everything you need in the bag. Ginadela did not think this student could be so thoughtful. When did you prepare this? The disciple smiled and replied, I just wanted to do a few things for this family that has been reunited after so long. If you do not like it, I can follow you too. What do you think? Of course, this idea would not be accepted by his master. Forget it. Family. Oh, speaking of which, is Cel doing okay lately? Master asked about Celbatus. How would I know? Hearing that, Ginadela was not satisfied at all. I told you to get along even when I am gone. Waleka was not reconciled at all. I do not want to have anything to do with that gloomy elf. He is probably in some corner conducting some gruesome experiments right now. Waleka counterattacked. You say you are busy, but you still have time to lecture me, Ginadela replied. All right then, I will leave. If there is anything, just contact me via carrier pigeon. Hearing that, Waleka jokingly said, well, I do not know who between us will be in trouble. Although he said that, he still deeply cherished this master. Be careful on your way, master. Thus began the journey back to her country. With a small body, traveling alone on such a long road, what difficulties would she face? While walking, a faint voice suddenly echoed, stop. Up. This voice was truly familiar to her. Waleka, standing behind his master who had stopped, called out in wonder, master, but she signaled him to be quiet. Quiet, Waleka. That voice continued to ring in her ears, you can't go. Please. Along with that voice, Pave Closier appeared before Ginadela. It was still those familiar eyes. Pave Closier gently said, so, you are Winadela. I have been wanting to see you. Seeing Pave Closier reborn, Ginadela could not help but burst into tears of joy. Please, I beg you. My family begs you. Don't punish my father. Pave gently comforted her. Calm down, Winadela. Nothing has happened yet. In a warm voice, the woman calmly asked, do you know who I am? With deep emotion, Ginadela sobbed, wiping her tears as she spoke. Yes, you are the founder of the Closier family, Lady Pave. Lady Pave, receiving the answer, replied, I did not realize your presence, so I was a little surprised to hear your voice. I apologize for making all the decisions on my own like that. I am glad your consciousness still exists. Now I will return this body to you. But contrary to Lady Pave's thoughts, Ginadela made a surprising decision. No need. I'm fine. Please keep using this body. She said with sincere eyes. Saying the unexpected, if you want, please continue to use my body. If you get tired of this body, just throw it away. An incompetent person like me can't be a suitable vessel for you, so. Every word uttered by Ginadella made others ache, and Pave was no exception. What are you saying, Winadella? Where are you weak? In the memories I inherited from you, there is nothing weak about you, not even a little. To make such a brave and admirable child suffer so much is really. The more she spoke, the more choked up Pave's voice became. Winadella, I swear on my name, the ancestor of the Closier family, that you are not useless. Every word Lady Pave said to Ginadella was like an encouragement. Nothing could compare. Those words made her a little shy. But Before Ginadella could finish, Lady Pave interrupted, cruelly killing a child after labeling them as useless, doing that to a cute child like this. Winadella, only selfish people who judge and harm others are the incompetent ones. Thanks to those words, Ginadella regained some confidence but still humbly replied, that is not true. The little girl said, choking back sobs, my father won't. I do not want to go back, and I do not want to harbor revenge. I am sure my father is not the kind of person who would do these things. But there was a truth that only Lady Pave knew. Do you know, Winadella? I have seen all your memories when you sank into the lake. Memories of those long, endless days. You stayed up all night with teary eyes. Afraid, lonely, and in pain, so I am the one who understands your true feelings best. The girl's eyes became full of murderous intent and determination. Winadella, you do not have to force yourself anymore. That was all she wanted to convey to Ginadella after learning about her not-so-good past. But it was this harsh truth that made the little girl, who always deceived herself, accept the harsh reality. Lady Pave, did Cho really want me dead? Was it because I am useless? I just wanted to be a part of the Closier family. Even if I was considered incompetent, useless, and hated, I still wanted to be a part of that family. Pave hugged the small girl in front of her, soothing her like a mother. I told you, did not I, Winadella, you are not useless. Is my acknowledgement still not enough? Ginadella asked in a choked voice. I have something to ask you. You can ask me anything. Please let me know. I want to know the truth. Did the family really want me dead? Did Cho really want to kill me? Lady Pave remembered the little girl's request. Understand. Receiving a response from the founder of the family made Ginadella feel somewhat relieved. Thank you very much. Suddenly, a loud voice repeatedly rang in her ears. Master, can you hear me, Master? Only then did Ginadella suddenly wake up. The person who appeared before her now was Waleka. Master, are you all right? You suddenly stood still there. I called you, but you did not answer. What is wrong? Ginadella's next answer stunned him. The owner of this body is still alive somewhere in my subconscious. Little girl, let me do something. I have to clarify Winadella's death. Waleka did not understand what his master was saying. I do not understand what you are saying. Looking at Waleka's bewildered expression like a deer, his master remembered. Oh, I have not explained it to you yet. In short, when I woke up in this body. Next was the journey of explaining the story from beginning to end for that deer to understand. After listening, Waleka felt extremely dissatisfied. Those barbarians still exist. What era are they living in? They should be eradicated. His master reminded him, tone it down. What if the little girl hears? Anyway, we have to figure out how to find out the truth. The two master and disciple began to brainstorm ways to find the truth like Detective Conan. But after half a day of thinking, no one had said a word. Suddenly Waleka shouted, "Ah, that is right." Having an idea, he immediately informed his master. Master, I just thought of a great plan. Actually, the Closier family contacted me before. Ginadella listened with a very serious attitude. I am quite famous for being Pave Closier's disciple, right? And if it is the family you are talking about, I have no reason to refuse. I have been laundering jewelry stolen from the Closier house on the black market for a while now. So let the timing and location be favorable. I have to ask the head of the family to bring a box of chocolate as a gift. After listening to her disciple's plan, Ginadella asked, so what excuse are you going to use to call him over? And this was the flaw in Waleka's plan. I'm trying to brainstorm, but what is the most appropriate reason for me to sit at the table with the head of the Closier family? Looking at Waleka's cunning face, she knew he was up to no good. What are you planning? Waleka replied with a proud face. You won't be angry with me, right, master? Just tell me. But you have to promise me you won't be angry. If you like sophistry, just promise me. Unable to waste any more time, Ginadella reluctantly agreed. All right, I won't get angry. Let me hear it. And Waleka's plan was, become my daughter, master. Truly a crazy idea. Pave was startled. Daughter, what nonsense are you talking about? Making Waleka scared. Master, you promised you would not be angry. However, Pave flatly stated, if I have to choose, I would rather be a servant, would not I? Waleka was dissatisfied. Master, do you think I would make a child a servant? Then Pave offered another solution. Then we just need to change my appearance. Even if the head of the Closier family is not some big shot, he is still a descendant who inherited the spiritual power from you, Master. He will see through this cheap disguise. No one understands the spiritual senses and sharp intuition of the Sharpa elves better than you. Magic is useless in this situation. We will be exposed immediately. Come to think of it, this is a difficult problem because it will affect the owner of this body, especially Ginadela's life, right? Then Waleka asked Master Pave, do you still want to be a servant? Hearing that, Pave hesitated. Is that her only wish? Waleka nodded and continued to persuade. You just have to pretend for a while, not your whole life. Why are you acting like a child? Is your determination only this much? Where's your conscience? Finally, Pave agreed. Moreover, if the situation is like this, Waleka thought it would be better if his master became his real daughter instead of his adopted daughter, and Pave let him do as he pleased. Actually, Waleka had carefully considered the possibilities and solutions related to this plan. The most important thing is that you have to act naturally like my daughter, Master. The first thing you should do is... At this point, Pave could not help but feel nervous. Waleka immediately said, practice how to talk to me and your attitude, making Pave panic. You are talking nonsense. Despite being scolded, Waleka still smiled and pleaded, you are not going to treat me like a disciple in public, are you? Come on, Master, call me father. But Pave ignored Waleka's pleas for over 2 hours, making him a bit disappointed. Is it that hard to call me father? Since Pave could not say it, Waleka teased him. It seems that Pave Closier, the great genius magician who defeated the dragon, only has this much determination, making Pave angry. Stop being arrogant, Waleka. And what Pave cared about was, how long will the preparation take? But Waleka affirmed that it won't be long, making Pave even more curious. What kind of crazy plan are you coming up with? The way you direct and guide the steps is also important. Besides, Waleka also had something to say to Pave. How much should I help you? But Pave did not understand. Waleka said, I can see through all your plans and thoughts, and you want to destroy the Closier family with your own hands, right? It is too reckless to judge them based only on Ginadela's magic power. In other words, what you need most right now is a huge amount of elixir to increase your magic power. Why not try using the fragments from my heart? Haven't I divided my heart many times already? Are you planning to drain my strength? But Waleka did not mean that. I did not say I would use a new piece of my heart. Guess where the pieces I have shared are? The items containing my heart fragments are all sold at high prices on the market. I have left them as they are until now. But if we collect them all and absorb the heart fragments, that enormous amount of magic power will be very useful to you. However, if you do not like this idea, I will find other types of elixirs. The hearts of Mandragora and Kraken are on the trading list during this time. But Pave refused it. I do not want you to waste those precious items on me. Alright, I will use your heart. If those other items are left behind, then the last place they will appear is probably on the black market. Is there anything else I need to know? Waleka thought for a moment and then said, nothing specific. As he spoke, Waleka used magic to record. Tell me, Master, what do you plan to do until you have a fixed schedule? Is there anything you want to do, like something that piques your interest? Pave thought for a moment and replied, I am just curious to see how much the world has changed while I was away, but... Before he could finish, Waleka excitedly said, how about I take you out for a sightseeing tour? Pave was startled. I have a lot of work to do. Besides, there is nothing worth seeing in Kupram, is there? I bet you do not know how much Kupram has changed. Quiet places have been chosen to build mansions, while the town is very lively. Come on, it will be fun. Aren't you curious? However, Pave just wanted to go alone, breaking Waleka's heart. Don't be so cruel. Do you think I'm just trying to get you to go out and play? The sooner we prepare, the better. If people see us together in town, rumors will spread quickly, won't they? After that, Waleka dragged his master along. Let us decide then, let us go out quickly, we can leave the unfinished work for tomorrow. Before we leave we have to do this. The important thing is the transformation. In a moment, Pave was donned in a new form. While Pave was still a bit confused, Waleka could not help but be excited. Do you like it? Now we look more like father and daughter. Hearing that, Pave sighed, thinking to himself, what is so fun about this? Going out for a bit won't hurt. Finally they set off. After that, they entered an extremely luxurious restaurant, with dishes served that were both delicious and extremely eye-catching. Waleka also said, I prepared all these dishes for you, my little one. Come on, Crucial, try a bite. Meanwhile, Pave could not believe it. Is this the real reason we came out? Pave also cursed in his head, this damn Waleka. He is such a good actor. Finally, Pave joined in acting along with Waleka. Thank you for the food. After that, Pave picked up a croissant and smelled it. Then took a small bite. Its taste was truly surprising. The croissant was covered in ganache sauce. It spread evenly in his mouth along with the rich aroma of butter. This was the most delicious food Pave had ever eaten. Seeing Pave so delighted, Waleka could not help but laugh out loud in joy. However, the surrounding eyes were all watching them. Although Waleka had predicted this. We are really the center of attention here. That is good. Pay attention to me, Waleka, now that I have a child with me. Spread the rumors as far as possible. That is exactly what Waleka was aiming for. Crucial, drink more milk. After finishing the meal, Waleka wanted to take Pave to this place. There is something interesting here. But Pave immediately felt uneasy based on the telepathic connection through magic. Waleka smiled smugly. Just be patient. You will find out when we get there. I am so excited. Finally, they arrived at the workshop of an artist who had fully supported him financially. Before entering, Waleka was extremely excited. As he opened the door, Pave was surprised and could not help but be startled. When she saw the room was full of her portraits. How could they have been sketched 150 years ago so well? What is the reason behind this? What are you planning to do with them? While Pave was sulking, Waleka pouted and replied, they were made to serve my purpose. Just then a voice called out, you have arrived, Sir Waleka. It is rare to see you bring someone other than Lady Rania. You did not inform me of your arrival. What wind has brought you here? As soon as he finished speaking, he clumsily tripped and fell. That is also the reason why Waleka always tells him to clean this place. He worriedly asked, are you all right? Is your hand injured? Afterwards, he introduced himself to the girl. Hello, my name is Grant Milliard. Pave also enthusiastically replied, I am a painter sponsored by Sir Waleka. Pleased to meet you, Mr. Milliard. Waleka added, let me introduce you briefly. This is Crucial, my daughter. She is the spitting image of me, is not she? At this moment, Milliard could not help but be bewildered. Your daughter? Really, your biological daughter, of course. Did you think I would suddenly invite someone with no blood relation to accompany me? That is true. Congratulations, Sir Waleka. This young lady resembles you greatly, exuding elegance and nobility. Hearing that, Waleka burst into laughter with delight. Milliard added, the more I look, the more she resembles you. Especially those sparkling amber eyes, just like. Before he could finish, Milliard abruptly stopped. Which made Pave curious. Because Milliard stared for a bit too long, Waleka immediately shielded his daughter, making him flustered. My apologies. What brings you here today, Sir Waleka? I was planning to commission a portrait of my daughter. Can we start right away? Yes, right away. Just a moment, I will be ready soon. After arranging everything, Milliard brought out a stool and invited the girl to sit. He also guided her to adjust her sitting position. Please relax. I can sketch from memory and only need to look once. No need to mind me. Having said that, Milliard focused intently and began his sketch. In just a short time, Milliard completed it, making Pave even more excited. Milliard showed the girl his sketch. I have done my best, although it is not quite perfect yet. Although the drawing was incomplete, Pave could truly feel the allure it held. Receiving Pave's compliment, Milliard was a bit humble. It is just a sketch. But Pave noticed a difference in the drawing. Why are only the eyes colored? Is this part of the final form of the painting? No, at this stage I have not decided on the coloring yet. Perhaps I should not color it exactly as I see it in reality. Meaning, some things appear transparent to me. Pave smiled upon hearing this. I am really looking forward to the final product. Milliard nodded and promised to try to finish it soon and send it to them. Suddenly, Milliard remembered something. Sir Waleka, since this is a request outside of the contract, I will receive a separate payment, correct? Hearing this, he agreed and told him to name his price, as he would pay him handsomely, so he could paint a few more. Milliard immediately bowed his head in acceptance. Please leave it to me. But seeing this action, Waleka implicitly understood. You are suddenly so polite because this conversation involves money, right? You are making me blush. Afterwards, Waleka and Pave left. Well then, we will be going. Thank you for your hard work, Milliard. Finally, only Milliard remained. Then, unexpectedly, he looked towards the portraits hanging on the wall, and observed them carefully. Although that girl greatly resembled Sir Waleka, there were a few points that made Milliard suspicious. Those eyes are identical to the eyes of the lady I often paint. Meanwhile, Waleka could not contain his excitement, continuing to invite Pave to clothing stores, making her feel extremely tired of this always cheerful and boisterous man. After that, they returned. Pave did not expect it to be so late already. Waleka then said, of course. You did not notice we have been to 6 fashion stores already, did you? These are all the clothes you need when you are with me. Besides, the more places we visit, the faster the rumors spread, right? Looking out the window, Pave could not help but be curious. What is that? Ah, that is Kupram's observatory. The most remarkable thing about this observatory is its name. Actually, it is the private property of a nouveau riche. Many tourists come here to visit because it looks grand and ostentatious, but there is nothing to see inside. Then Waleka asked, do you want to take a look? Crucial, but the girl did not want to. Even if it is a famous tourist spot, it is not worth seeing. Suddenly, Pave heard a voice, a very familiar one. It was Ginadela's. Everything is so sparkly, it is so beautiful. At this moment, Pave truly understood. I see. She has been confined to the mansion all this time, so this is probably the first time she has seen a sight like this. It is not just the observatory, but also the warm, human scenery of the city in the afternoon. Suddenly, Pave left the dining table, making Waleka bewildered. What is wrong, master? Pave immediately said, let us go to Kupram's observatory. Arriving there, although Pave could not accept having to pay an extra fee to go to the top floor in return, the view from here was quite something. Waleka chuckled. Do you like it? From here we can see everything. Indeed, and Pave felt very happy. Moreover, Ginadela could not help but be moved. The view from the top is even more beautiful. Pave then said, it is too early to be surprised, Ginadela. There are many more beautiful places in this world. Do you know how brightly the capital Regia shines at night? Or how the royal palace looks down from the magic tower with breathtaking magnificence? So glorious that it can't be fully captured by the naked eye. Women in splendid dresses stroll around the square, while workers transport enormous quantities of goods all day long. You can feel the tireless energy of the people living in the city, seeping through every layer of your skin. Just hearing that made Ginadela feel amazed. Ginadela, do not you want to witness the splendor of Regia at night with your own eyes? And not just the capital or other cities. I want to show you all the beautiful places that exist in the world. And Pave was determined to make that happen for Ginadela. However, the girl wondered, why would you do so much for me? Pave did not hesitate to reply, because I want to. You are someone who deserves good things. Every time I look at your memories, I always think that you are a child who shines brighter than any light, someone I want to embrace, the cutest and most adorable child in the world. Ginadela, I said I would fulfill all your wishes, right? There is one wish I want you to fulfill that has sprung up within me. Can you listen? It is that I have a desire to hug you, even just once, when everything is over. No, even before that. Let me hug you when you return to your original body, okay? Hearing this, Ginadela could not help but be touched. You are so mysterious, esteemed ancestor. I do not think you will gain anything from this. Are you really okay with just that? Compared to my request, it is a very simple thing. However, if you are truly okay with it, I will give you countless hugs, as many as you want. Time quietly passed, and night gradually fell. Waleka also noticed and asked Master Pave, did you just have a conversation with this child? According to Pave's perception, Ginadela, the child who told her she did not need to return her body, had gradually opened up more, at least that is what it seemed. Can you feel it, Ginadela, the importance of each step? Afterwards, Pave smiled and replied to Waleka, that is right, we just had a very pleasant conversation. Hearing that, Waleka was relieved, and he decided to put on a grand performance because it was an indispensable part of any festival. With just a snap of his fingers, fireworks were launched into the sky, looking beautiful and eye-catching. Waleka proudly exclaimed, what do you think, Ginadela? Amazing, is not it? However, there are even more surprises waiting for you, so do not leave the stands yet. Looking up at the brilliant fireworks display, Pave thought to herself, today, the view from the launch side of this observatory is not too bad either. Scene changed the next day at the Waleka mansion. A huge stack of papers was placed on his desk. Waleka was having a real headache because of it. He told himself, come on, you can handle these mundane contracts and paperwork yourself. Why am I being dragged into this? Then his secretary's voice rang out, all matters related to contracts must be reported to me. You said so yourself, Waleka. You have been absent for 33 hours, 26 minutes, and 49 seconds. Haven't you considered the increasing workload during that time? Therefore, right now we desperately need someone else to manage and clean up the mess you have left behind. Next to him, Pave was sipping tea, fully aware that this would happen. Meanwhile, Waleka continued to make excuses, because these are matters I can only entrust to you, Lanier. Hearing this, she felt tired. Please stop smiling and trying to change the subject. Handling restaurant reservations and payments is something anyone can do. Of course, I also have to deal with the paperwork concerning your daughter's name. That is enough introductions. The great spirit magician, Lady Pave Closier, I am Sir Waleka's secretary, Lanier Chamber. It is a pleasure to meet you. Upon meeting her, Pave felt that this person seemed intelligent and quick-witted. Then she greeted back, "It seems you have grasped the situation without needing me to explain, huh? Yes, I have been informed that you are impersonating my employer's daughter to achieve a personal goal. As this is classified information, I will be taking care of you, Lady Pave. Could you spare me some time? Your hair is having a bit of an issue. Yes, to be more precise, it is the color of your hair. Previously, my employer changed your hair color with magic, but this time you will be meeting the Closier Patriarch face to face, so I am afraid there is a high chance he will see through the trick. Therefore, although it is a bit of a hassle, dyeing your hair is the best solution." Hearing this, Pave finally understood and asked Lanier to wait a moment. Then she contacted Ginadella. "Are you there?" "Yes, I am here." "Good, we are about to dye your hair." "What do you think?" Hearing this, the girl immediately agreed. "It is all right. This is necessary for you to fulfill my wish. From now on, there will be more necessary things, so you do not need to ask for my opinion. Except when we meet my family." Hearing that, Pave finally understood. She had even hoped this girl would be a bit more selfish. Then, Pave reported back to Lanier, "You can dye my hair." "Yes, I will prepare right away." With that issue settled by Lanier, she turned to Waleka. "And you, Sir Waleka, I noticed your hand just stopped. Have you been just sitting and watching without looking at the documents all this time?" Making him jump in surprise. "What? That is so unfair. I have been working all along. If you do not focus again, I will have to take Lady Pave elsewhere." Warned again, Waleka hastily promised to concentrate on the work immediately. And in the time that followed, Lanier completed the task of changing Pave's hair color. Lanier also said, "Your roots will need to be re-dyed every 10 days. You do not need to worry, as I will be responsible for this," making Pave a little surprised. "A secretary has to do this too. You have worked hard, Lanier." While the two of them chatted animatedly, Waleka sat absent-mindedly until he heard that they were going to the fitting room. He immediately asked to go along as. But before he could finish, Lanier turned around and glared. "Sir Waleka, if more than half of the documents remain after I return." As she spoke, Lanier tore a piece of notepaper, slamming it down on Waleka's desk. Lanier continued, "Then I will take all the paid leave days I have accumulated so far. I will take a break." Waleka was truly terrified upon hearing this. Then Lanier and Lady Pave left the room and went together to the fitting room, filled with numerous outfits. Lanier had already prepared several outfits for Lady Pave beforehand. The elegant, luxurious, and noble attire made Pave astonished. "So splendid, but it would be a bit hot to wear during this season. I will only be inside the mansion, so these outfits seem a bit too ornate and sparkly." Hearing this, Lanier pondered and said, "If that is the case, then I can guess where you come from. However, this mansion is always kept at a certain temperature by magic, so I do not think we need to be too strict about the length or material. Moreover, they have been chosen based on Lady Pave's status. Although simple, they clearly affirm your identity as Sir Waleka's daughter. Furthermore, the clothing material can generate negative ions and gemani, which is very good for your body. Lanier, those kinds of clothes are a bit heavy for a child of this age." But contrary to Pave's thoughts, Ginadella was incredibly delighted with the Western-style outfits. "They are awfully beautiful." Ginadella suddenly flinched. Then she chuckled awkwardly, thinking about it. "Such elegant clothes do not suit me." In any case, Pave decided to choose the last outfit. After changing her shoes and putting on the pretty hat, Pave looked much more radiant, her demeanor exuding a different aura than usual. Suddenly, Pave sighed and called, "Ginadella, I know you are listening. Do you like this outfit? It looks pretty, does not it?" "You do not like it," Ginadella immediately retorted. "No, it is so beautiful and it suits you so well." Hearing that, Pave was surprised. "Ginadella, this is your body," but the girl denied it. "It does not suit me, it suits you. But my eyes and hair are ash-colored, so I think I only look good when Lady Pave is using my body. Because Aquis always says I look like a fool because I am always frowning and timid like a mouse." Pave interrupted, "Those are just empty words. Because I am in this body, my actions and word choices will be different from yours. You will look like a completely different person. I know that is how it is now. That is the point. Why do not you try pushing your consciousness to the surface? Not me, Pave Closier, but you, Ginadella. Look at your reflection in the mirror while wearing this outfit. That way you can see the difference between us, right? Don't worry about whether this outfit suits you or not when you regain control of your body. Come on, I do not care if it is long or short, just try pushing your consciousness to the surface." But at this moment, Ginadella was still hesitant and did not know how to do it. Therefore, Pave would guide her, and Ginadella just needed to follow along. Suddenly Lanier approached. "You do not need to do that. It is all right if Miss Ginadella does not do it. There is no need to force her to appear." At this moment, Pave also felt that doing so was indeed wrong. Ginadella was always being compared to others in her family. How could Pave force a child to look at and compare herself? Moreover, even she had not realized the most important thing, the child's feelings. Ginadella, I am sorry. No, I swear on my name, Pave Closier, that I won't repeat this. Your name, esteemed ancestor, I am fine. Afterwards, Pave went to the afternoon tea. Lanier inquired about Miss Ginadella's condition, and Pave replied, she was a bit surprised but has accepted my apology. Thank you, Lanier. Fortunately, you intervened in time, or I would have made a grave mistake. By the way, even though you could not hear Ginadella's voice, how did you know her feelings? Lanier smiled and replied, actually, I have a younger brother around that age. Hearing this, Pave could not help but be curious. Lanier continued, before, he was always embarrassed because of our complicated family situation. I am used to hearing him complain. But setting that aside, Lanier continued to consider the next steps. Ensuring a complete education for Sir Waleka's heir. However, basic education would be a waste of your time, Lady Pave. I think we should move on to another subject. Although the master said he wanted to explain it to you himself. But due to time constraints, I will. Before she could finish, Waleka's hurried voice rang out, wait. Lanier, that is enough. I will be the one to explain. This made both Lanier and Pave bewildered. This Waleka, what is he planning to teach me? After standing there panting for a while, Lanier smiled and asked, have you approved all the documents yet? However, Waleka had not finished yet, but he also really wanted to tell his master this because it was extremely important. Master, you probably do not know what has been happening on the continent for the past 150 years. Do you? I will teach you bit by bit. This is quite important. At the same time, we can help you practice your demeanor as my daughter. In other words, you will be learning about etiquette. As soon as he finished speaking, Lanier reminded him, Sir Waleka, if you want to take on this task, then remember the pile of documents waiting for you. But master, I have changed into a new outfit and my back feels a little sore. They say that people can only focus for 15 minutes at a time. However, Lanier's murderous aura seemed ready to tear Waleka to shreds in an instant. So Waleka turned around and went back to work. After he left, Pave and Lanier greeted each other again and started their lesson. Thanks to Lanier's summaries, this lesson was much easier for Pave. But Pave still wondered why the Closier family had degenerated to its current state. Hearing this, Lanier summarized the reason. After you suddenly disappeared from this world, Lord Pave, a struggle for the position of Archmage broke out. Due to that internal conflict, the number of mages gradually decreased, and a series of unpublished magical theories evaporated along with them. And the bloodlines of many mages were cut off. Research was also halted, meaning that everyone had lost hope in developing magic. In the years following your passing, there were only 2 human archmages, both of whom have long since passed away, and currently no one has achieved that title. Therefore, those who use spirits with power similar to magic began to gain attention. It is natural for the Closier family's status to be elevated because they have a strong connection with spirits. The contract that Pave made with the Spirit King, thanks to that blessing, all members of the Closier family can control spirits. Lanier also fully acknowledged that perhaps that was the cause of everything happening as it is now. After Pave relinquished their position in the Closier family and left this world, the 3rd-generation head, who elevated the family's status using covert tactics, firmly asserted that, for anyone who becomes the head of the family, their ability is their greatest asset. He believed that the selection of a legitimate successor should be based on their abilities. Although this was not yet perfected, the best successor had to be the individual capable of maximizing the divine power bestowed by Lord Pave. Additionally, a tendency to look down on less capable individuals began to form. Hearing this, Pave wondered, so everyone considers me a spirit mage? Lanier replied seriously, if they believed you were the great spirit mage, things would go even further. At this point, Pave was a bit disappointed. That guy seems to know very well my pride as a mage, yet he just sits still and watches the drama unfold. Lanier continued, Waleka responded to those matters, but since they are your descendants, he could not recklessly interfere. Hearing that, Pave understood everything. They never considered how much effort I put into reaching my current position, so they equate me with those spirit users who rely on the power of spirits. Finally, the first lesson ended. Lanier specifically told Pave, if you are curious or want to research anything, please use the books in the library. Also, if you have any questions, please call me immediately. At that moment, Waleka suddenly barged in and yelled, I have finished reviewing and approving the documents. I have also come up with the next steps of the plan. As he spoke, Waleka handed Pave a notebook. Inside, it also included the organization of the successor announcement ceremony. This surprised Pave. The kid is still fixated on me pretending to be his daughter, so I thought he would come up with some tricks to tease me. But it seems that is the crux of the plan. Pave read while pondering what Waleka wrote. He would introduce his daughter to all the attendees. But Waleka was a powerful and noble figure among those manipulating the black market. Many influential figures would attend an event organized by such an important person, so inviting the Closier family was a small matter, given their relationship. While the guests enjoyed the banquet, they would summon the Closier head and expose their wrongdoings. And in this case, Pave suggested we will carry it out within a month. That time will be for preparation. This is a perfect plan exceeding my expectations. As long as we prepare thoroughly, it will definitely succeed. Hearing that, Waleka panicked. Wait a minute, master, if we do this in a month, we will have to write invitations from tomorrow. That won't be enough time for me to advertise you as my daughter. Pave then called Lanier and asked, how long does it take to write invitations and send them? If we use magic, it is quick. Adding the time for the pigeons to deliver the letters, it is estimated to take about 3 days. As for preparing the banquet, we just need to consider the scale of the event. With only 1 month to prepare, we will be quite busy. Using more money will get it done faster. If the master accepts the proposed budget, we will be on time. Waleka was so angry upon hearing this that both of them turned and stared in astonishment. Finally, after a discussion, things became clearer, and this time Pave relied quite heavily on the two of them. Having said that, Waleka and Lanier also left. Pave returned to their room thinking 1 month, If the plan succeeds, everything will return to its original trajectory, including Pave and Ginadella. But there were still questions about why Pave was called here. The two of them had breakfast together. It has been a while since we have had a meal together, Waleka. Is the preparation going smoothly? We have not talked in a while, and this will continue for a while. Waleka chuckled, but master, you were the one who set this tight schedule. Anyway, I am glad the preparation is not a problem, so I do not have to worry too much for now. More importantly, there is something I want to give you. A few of my heart fragments have arrived. Pave replied, good. You must be busy. Just leave it there for me. But he said no. It has been a while since I have seen you. I want to make sure the absorption goes smoothly. Pave was speechless. You like to decide things yourself. Waleka justified, we have to prevent accidents. How can I rest assured if I do not observe it with my own eyes? He opened the box. Here you go, the fresh heart fragments of your disciple. She closed her eyes and felt. Even though they were just small fragments, she could feel the strong magical power emanating from them. Let us see. She looked at the glittering pieces. Okay, this seems to be enough. Thank you, Waleka. Suddenly Pave froze. Something startled her. Seeing her crouching down, Waleka exclaimed, Master. Pave was sweating but still said, it is nothing. I was just a little surprised by the feeling that has been a while since it returned. He worried, if it were an ordinary person, their magic circuits would have probably ruptured immediately. Pave smiled, although this is not my original body, my soul is there. My soul still retains its former characteristics. This level is nothing. Waleka was surprised, Master, you did not absorb all the heart fragments I gave you. Why did you leave one piece? After absorbing all 3 of these pieces, she would become a high-level mage. She said, I plan to eat the last piece on the same day as the banquet or a day before. When he asked why, she explained, everyone only knows I am a 9-year-old child. If such a person suddenly rises to the position of a high-level mage, they will immediately be suspected. That is true, but what if you swallow the last piece but it is still not enough to become a high-level mage? Hearing that, he asked, what do you plan to do then? She yawned, if so, I will manage. Don't worry. Waleka looked at her, Master looks tired. Waleka inquired, are you tired, Master? It is a bit early, but you should go rest. Pave hummed in agreement. What will you do, Waleka? He said, I will go back to work when you are asleep. Let me take you to your bedroom. She was very touched. Even though you are busy, you are still so thoughtful. Waleka took her to her room. She was sound asleep. He chuckled, poking her cheek. You fell asleep as soon as your head hit the pillow. Even though you are my master, it seems you have accumulated quite a lot of stress lately. I bet if I did not watch you sleep, you would definitely read books all night. What are you thinking? Listening to me is a wise choice, right? Goodness, you are a master who causes me so much trouble, you know. Pave sat in the study. No matter how she looked, she could not understand. The history of magic is truly strange. Highly applicable magic was quite developed, but the more general and common types decreased significantly. Although they differed in scale and scope, they were all magic. The bottom line was that magic research was very important in the development of practical magic. After dealing with Wyna's matters, she would delve deeper into it. How should I put it? People often feel hungry after thinking for too long. That is the chocolate tart that Lanier brought. I wish it was a little warmer. I will take this opportunity to test my abilities. I want to eat a warm tart. Light spread throughout the room. Pave looked at the plate of tarts. Then she ate it deliciously. Delicious. Incantation, the use of the power of words, works effectively. I still need more practice, but this is enough to be satisfied. Suddenly, a voice called out, Master. Waleka walked in. Are you free? Pave replied, yes, I am taking a break. What is it? He asked. Master, you still have work to do, do not you? Since we have crammed the schedule into 1 month, there is not much time left. She was stunned. The work I have to do, he reiterated. Have you forgotten you still need to practice? Calling me father. He smiled. She grimaced. What nonsense. He teased, come on, Master, try calling me father. Pave turned away sharply. This is not a joke. Waleka laughed. Yes, it is not a joke. Come on, there is not much time left. She tried to force herself. She could not make a sound. He urged, what is wrong, Master? You are speaking too softly. I can't hear you clearly. She shouted. Father. Waleka frowned. Master, you are too stingy. What if Ginadella is listening too? That is really serious. Fortunately, she is sleeping. Otherwise, she would murmur. Did you call me, Mr. Waleka? I think she just woke up. Waleka made her call again. Master, say it quickly. I can't go back to work if you do not say it. She snapped. Are you crazy? You can't force a melon to ripen. He took out a pen. Then I will have to use a different method. Try saying it as if you are reading aloud from a book. Try reading exactly what I have written. The words read, Father. She looked at it with a frown. Suddenly Ginadella appeared. Father. Just read what is written. Are you finding it difficult? Waleka thought, if this method still does not work, then. Suddenly Pave exclaimed, Waleka, I have an idea, a better method. Waleka asked, what did you just say, method? She said, no one will care who is speaking as long as it comes from me. Come here, Guena. Can you hear me? He replied, yes, I can hear you clearly. Pave said again, can you call Waleka father? He yelled, what did you just say? It is just calling me father. Why are you making her do it instead? She scolded, you are too loud, Waleka. Ginadella, I am not forcing you to regain control of your body by disregarding your words. So, let me teach you how to use your consciousness to control your body when needed. This body belongs to Ginadella. No matter what, I still want her to be able to control it again. That way, she can return to her body after the Closier family matter is resolved. Also, this is a good opportunity for her to start learning how to regain control of her body. She argued too smoothly. Ginadella, will you listen to this old woman? The little girl was stunned. Old woman, Lord Pave is not like that. You are the ancestor who founded the Closier family. Pave said again, my age is about the same as your great-grandmother's, Guena. You are like my beloved great-granddaughter. So, do you understand my position? For an ancestor or old woman like me to call my disciple father is truly terrible. I am the only one at fault here for my helplessness. If you do not want to do that, I have no right to blame you. Feel free to make your own choice. Ginadella hesitated. Ancestor. Although this is my original body, I do not know how to speak as kindly and gently as you. I am okay with doing things for you, but would it be good if I regained control of my body now? Can I help you with anything? Pave replied, of course. Don't worry, Guena. We'll be fine. Just follow my instructions. Ginadella said she would try. Hearing that, she said, all right, now awaken all your senses at once. Try moving your finger. Look. Following Ginadella's actions, she exclaimed, they're perfect, then say hello to Waleka. Ginadella slowly said, hello. How do you greet someone? Waleka stared at her. Then he smiled back. Hello there, little one. Your name is Ginadella, right? She hesitantly replied, good morning. He extended his hand. Nice to meet you. My name is Waleka. For the next month, I will be your father. He laughed at his own words. Then he patted her head. Puff out your chest with pride, Ginadella. You are the beloved daughter and sole heir of this half-dragon Waleka. So instead of worrying and bowing your head, smile brightly. He tried. Like this. Waleka was stunned because she was so cute. He grinned smugly. See, Master, Ginadella smiled at me. Pave replied, cut it out. Can't you see she is embarrassed? Waleka said, anyway, it is a bit difficult to suddenly call me father. Is not it? I will show you how. Come here, Ginadella. Would you like to take a walk around the garden with your father? Your grandmother has been rooted there all this time, so you have not been able to play in the garden. Have you? What is your favorite flower, my daughter? She shyly replied, I like them all. He then asked, what do you think of roses? I am planning to renovate the garden this summer. Roses are very beautiful, so it seems like a good choice. What do you think? Ginadella replied, yes, father. He chuckled, you are better at this than my master. Ginadella, what do you think a real family is? She was very surprised by this question. A real family, Waleka said, right. It is not about blood ties or anything trivial and old like that. It is simply holding hands and walking like this. The little girl thought, walking, holding hands. My father never did that. Waleka added, Master and I do not share blood, but we always cherish each other like family. Master is the one who diligently taught a half-breed creature who is not quite hollow or human like me what a real family is. So, Ginadella, if you can, would you like to be my real daughter? She was stunned. Me? He affirmed, yes. My standards and expectations are very high, so ever since Master left, I have not found anyone suitable to be my family. You see, Guena, without Master, I would have lived my whole life as a cruel half-dragon. You will never know the joy of being cared for by someone, so if you agree, I will teach you what family is during the time we live together. Of course, the decision is yours. Until then, what do you think if I become your stepfather? The girl's eyes welled up with tears. Can I really be Lady Waleka's daughter? Even though we just met. What if I am just a burden, holding him back? Even though I am useless and have not accomplished anything, Sir Waleka is still willing. Waleka interrupted her thoughts. Okay, let us pause this serious conversation and go have some fun, Ginadella. She snapped back to reality, yes, sir. He continued, no need to rush into thinking about what we just talked about. Ginadella felt incredibly warm. Sir Waleka is so kind. He is afraid I will feel embarrassed or pressured. So, until the roses bloom. In this short time. Should I continue to enjoy this warmth? Waleka said, anyway, I think it is quite difficult for you to accept me right away. Right, hearing this, Ginadella immediately apologized. He chuckled. Don't worry about it. You will get used to it eventually. Today I have conveyed my thoughts, and that is enough. She replied, me too. I will seriously consider what you said today. It was getting late outside. Waleka said we should head back. What about you, want to walk around a bit more? Remember to come back before it gets dark. Ginadella waved goodbye to him. Then she closed her eyes. At this time, Pave had returned to her body. You did well. That old woman gave you a hard time. The girl quickly said, no, not at all. Pave thought to herself, Ginadella's voice has become much brighter than before. Letting her appear seems to have been effective. Waleka's address issue has been resolved. The next thing to do is gather elixirs to become a high-level mage. Pave diligently researched. There is no way there are magic awakening elixirs in this urban area. I have to leave Kupram. Herbal elixirs must be deep in the forest. There is also a way to extract the essence of high-level magical beasts. Should I try searching and test my skills at the same time? Pause. Speaking of which, I think Aaron found a nightshade plant on Mount Lepus before. Though not as potent as ginseng, it contains pure magic. A rare nightshade would be a good elixir. I left it unpicked because there were small animals living nearby. That place is quite secluded. If I am lucky, it might still be there. It is best to go check right away. Ginadella said, my foster father will be worried. Pave assured her, it is okay. It is not something to worry about. But to put your mind at ease, I will use magic to send a carrier pigeon to let him know. Alright, let us go. She began to teleport. In the blink of an eye, they arrived at the place, a mountain range. This place has not changed at all. It seems it has not been exploited by humans yet. But I must return before Waleka nags me. Using search magic. Suddenly, she heard a noise. She turned sharply. Is someone else here? The young man was searching for something. I can clearly sense magic, but there is no one around here. Pave wondered, why is there a spirit summoner on this mountain? And with an intermediate level spirit, no less. Ginadella spoke up, ancestor. What if that spirit discovers us? She replied, don't worry. The strange young man said, it seems the rumors of magical beasts appearing on Mount Lepus are true. Let us search around some more. Ginadella suddenly exclaimed, that spirit is heading this way, relax. The tracking spell only reacts to magic. Pave said, I have cast a mental suppression spell. A mid-level spirit can't see through it. She hid behind the bushes, watching the spirit. Let us just wait and see. Ginadella exclaimed, it really left without noticing us. Pave boasted, I told you so. It would take a spirit king to see through my identity. Don't tell me you did not believe me, the girl quickly explained. That is not it. Pave took out a glowing orb. That is not all. Let me show you something even more wondrous. The girl asked, ancestor, what are you doing? She replied, I have reconfigured the teleportation spell so it won't be detected by spirits. Hearing this, Ginadella said, I heard changing a spell is very complex. She chuckled, for a great mage like me, it is a piece of cake. She closed her eyes. All right, let us see if the nightshade is still there. Ginadella eagerly asked, how is it? It turned out the nightshade was still there. Pave observed, there are no magical beasts around either. Seems safe. Let us go. Magic, take me to the elixir. In the blink of an eye, she arrived at the location. The elixir was there. There it is. She approached the elixir. At that time, Selbatus had criticized Aaron for wasting a precious elixir. Aaron just chuckled without saying anything. You must have disagreed with Selbatus. But you wanted to respect an elf with a strong ego, right? Pave's footsteps slowed. She stood alone under the sky. That boy was a kind person who always thought of others. That kind heart saved me once again. I am very grateful, my dear disciple from 150 years ago. After retrieving the elixir, she returned home. See, Ginadella, we made it back as planned. Today was a long day. Let us take a break. Suddenly someone spoke. You said you were only going out for a bit. Now you know the way back. Waleka's gloomy voice startled Pave. Oh Wally, why are you a busy person here? He replied, of course. He seemed to be angry. Master, you only sent a carrier pigeon. You did not even tell me where you were going. You just left like that. Master, do you know how long I had to wait? Do you know how worried I was? Don't forget you are still a child, Master. There have been rumors recently that a high-level monster has appeared. Pave said, if that happened, how could I not defeat a monster? She cursed inwardly. This Wally, why are you still holding a grudge about that? Still, she said aloud, don't be like that. Aren't I back safe and sound? Ginadella quietly reminded her, Ancestor, your future foster father is very angry. Pave sulked, yes, this is so troublesome. The girl said, Ancestor, I have a great idea. She looked at her expectantly. Tell me. Unexpectedly, the girl said, what if you called your future foster father father? These words stunned both of them. Father, what are you talking about? Pave thought, no, I want to hear those words too. When he hears those words, he might at least shift his attention to me. She looked directly at Waleka. I am trying to stop. No, can you stop? She tried her best to call out father. But he still scolded her. Master, are you trying to avoid responsibility by calling me father? Isn't that a bit too shallow? It is disappointing. What do you take my concern for? That is enough. Stop it. Suddenly, she unexpectedly shouted, Father. Immediately afterward, there was a silence. The mansion fell silent. It was Ginadella who had just called out, foster father. Waleka asked, what is it, little one? The girl defended Pave. Ancestor did not do anything wrong. I was the one who suggested calling you father first. He was surprised. The girl's eyes teared up. Because I did not know what you two were talking about and I intervened. I only made my future foster father angrier. Waleka became flustered. No, that is not it. Because I am close to Master, I said those things. The girl continued to blame herself, but I interfered for no reason. He replied, no, it is not. I like this intervention from you. I am not angry anymore. Ginadella asked, really? He affirmed, really. And hey, little one, you just called me father, right? Good job. Can you call me that again? Pave rejoiced. Great, Ginadella, thanks to you I feel so much better. Waleka coaxed the girl again. Come on, call me that one more time, my daughter. The girl softly called, father. He happily patted her head. Thank you for opening up to me, Ginadella. I definitely won't make you regret it. Pave said to her, it seems everything has been decided, Ginadella. Can you lend me your body for a moment? Waleka, you brat, do not think it ends here. He chuckled. I did not think she would come. All right, let us make up, Master. So, what did you go all the way to Lepus for in the end? She pointed to the elixir. You knew it at a glance, right? Waleka exclaimed, just by looking I can tell it is a 200-year-old high-grade elixir, right? Pave explained, with this, even if you are just a useless person you can become a high-level mage. He said, even if you return it, I won't accept it. She glared. When did I say I would return it to you? Just leave it. I will take it when I need it, do not worry. Waleka thought to himself, Master is really something. Just by the way you talk I can see how stubborn you are. Pave said, anyway, the problem of the elixir of immortality and the way we address each other has been somewhat resolved. Is this thing worth your precious time? Waleka replied, there is no other way. The meeting with Mardika will have to be postponed until next time. Pave was surprised. Mardika. It has been a while since I have heard that name. This is the family that wanted to get close to Closure before I died, right? He replied, that is right. I am still in contact with Closure. Pave looked at his ambiguous expression. What are you plotting again? Suddenly Waleka exclaimed. Oh right, Lanier said there are documents I need to check before tonight. I will be going then. Don't cause any more trouble, okay? Pave smiled. Alright, you should take care of yourself first. He said, Lanier will prepare dinner. Remember not to skip it, okay? She asked, what about you? But he had already left. Ginadella exclaimed. He disappeared instantly, she explained, because Waleka is a great archmage. This kind of movement is just basic. The girl asked, isn't it similar to the magic ancestor used on the mountain earlier? Pave replied, that is right, but it is just a tiny fraction of my power. When I was alive, the amount of mana and power I possessed was overwhelming. No mage on this continent could ever defeat me. Ginadella admired. That is amazing. Ancestor using magic is as difficult as controlling a spirit, right? Pave chuckled. Why do you ask that all of a sudden? Are you interested in magic? The girl said, I do not know either because I can't even control a spirit. Pave comforted her. Don't say that. Controlling a spirit is not the only talent. Dear, do you want to learn magic? Ginadella was surprised. Me. Pave explained, yes. Your body already has the mana equivalent of an intermediate level mage. So if you learn magic, you will be able to use it well. What do you think? The girl still could not believe it. This is the first time someone has said I can do something. If there is anything I can do, magic, please teach me. I want to try. 3 weeks later, Pave held a pen in her hand. Preparations for the party and Ginadella's magic training were going smoothly. It has been a long time since I have taught magic to anyone. Suddenly reminds me of when I taught these two. Just then Waleka called, Master, it is time to go out. Are you ready? She replied, Wali, I will be right there. Every week, Wali and Pave went out together, practicing portraying the image of a harmonious father and daughter, and they had to show that they were very close. Pave asked, so where are we going today? He held up 2 tickets. She was surprised. After. For what? He smiled. Just wait and see. You will like it, Master. Today will be a very interesting day. Arriving at the location, Pave cursed inwardly. Wali, you are crazy, are not you? Why did you get me front row seats right in front of the stage? Waleka acted his part. What do you think, Crucial? She forced a smile. What if we block other people's view? He said nonchalantly, it does not matter. We paid properly, did not we? I want my daughter to see from the best seats. I prepared this special treat for you. Pave tried to play along. I like it very much. Damn it, why do you always have to overdo everything? Though embarrassed, there was nothing else she could do. After all, this was all for Ginadella. The performance began. Pave's eyes lit up. Amazing. Wally, even though you tend to overdo things, you deserve praise today. The performance is wonderful, nothing to complain about. It is a shame it is already the curtain call. It is sad to see it end like this. Waleka replied, is that so? Whose performance did you like the most among them? Pave replied, I liked Primo Uomo's performance the most. He just said he understood. Then he called out loudly, hey Primo Uomo, my daughter said she really liked your song. Sing a song for Crucial. Stone Pavement. Wally, what are you talking about? We did a great job. Why are you trying to waste our efforts at the last minute? He said, just consider it a special encore performance. Of course we will pay you in full. Primo refused, I am sorry, but I can't fulfill your request. I hope you understand. Waleka repeated, I said I am willing to pay you handsomely. He explained, I do not perform on stage just for the money, sir. I would be grateful if you could reconsider so I can protect my pride. Waleka offered 10 million ES, is that enough? Still not enough. Then I will give you 20 million ES. Even if you are a famous actor, you won't have many opportunities like this. Pave intervened, Wally, stop it. Don't be so rude. Waleka stubbornly continued, 100 million ES. Even then, you will refuse. Primo hesitated. Pave was embarrassed. This guy, he has done strange things like this before to attract attention. He once asked her, Master, people are not allowed in this lake, but since I am a half-dragon, it is probably okay, right? She scolded, do you want to die, you brat? It has been like this since 150 years ago, and from then on. I am the one who has to clean up the mess he makes. Waleka continued to pressure Primo. How much do I have to pay for you to sing for my daughter? Pave interrupted, I apologize. You still want to stay? Wait, Crucial, I have not finished talking yet. She frowned, I did not mean to offend anyone. My father tends to overreact when it comes to me. She looked sincerely. Could everyone please forgive my foolish father just this once? Everyone was awkward. Waleka said angrily, you are lucky it is because my daughter is watching. Otherwise Pave interrupted, I apologize. I will tell my father to apologize properly later. I am very sorry. She bowed her head. Outside, Waleka was scolded, Waleka, you brat. Not knowing why, Pave scolded Waleka, you are over 150 years old, and you are still doing such embarrassing things where you can't. I am so ashamed I want to dig a hole and bury myself. Waleka, covered in wounds, said, "Don't be like that, master. It was just acting." She said angrily, "Right, so it was just acting." She was stunned. "What?" He explained, "I planned this with him from the beginning. We tricked them, did not we? That actor's performance was truly amazing." Pave was astonished. "What are you talking about?" He chuckled. "Tomorrow, the rumors will probably spread throughout Kupram. Lord Waleka went overboard because he loved his daughter so much, but then his smart daughter stepped up and smoothed things over. I am sorry I did not tell you beforehand. If I had, master would not have reacted like that." He still casually hugged her. "With this, the party will become quite interesting, the father doting on his precious daughter." Pave grimaced. "So that is it. But even so, I feel like you are shortening my lifespan, Waleka." He laughed. She scolded again. "Do you know how embarrassed I was?" He laughed. "Of course I know. You even called me daddy." She was speechless. She recalled the image of herself apologizing. Seeing her anger, Waleka defended himself. "The beginning is the most important part, right? You will be able to do it next time." Her face was distorted. "Why? You insolent." He laughed. "Thank you, master." Pave scolded. "Don't praise me." Waleka visited his master's room while she was enjoying some cakes. "Let us talk for a bit." "What is it, Waleka? If it is about you wanting to go out, then no. The rumors have already spread." Waleka denied the previous incident, saying that his purpose in coming here was not to see her. Actually, Waleka wanted to talk to Ginadella. She was a little surprised. But then she accepted and called the girl. "Ginadella, Waleka wants to talk to you. Can you come out?" "Yes, I can. I also want to talk to my foster father." "Good then." The master completely yielded her consciousness to Ginadella. "Good morning, foster father. It has been a while. Are you doing well? Let us talk while we eat. Now let us see. You know the ball is in 4 days, right? And you are also aware. Our Casto will be attending the party, right?" The girl suddenly froze. Waleka added, to hear the truth from his own mouth, "I will have to say some things that will hurt you." He immediately spoke harsh words. "You are a useless child. You deserve to be treated like dirt, and even worse words. Even though you know it is a lie, it can hurt you." Ginadella's whole body trembled. It seemed as if the abyss would swallow her again, but fortunately, Waleka grasped Ginadella's small hands in time. "So, Ginadella, I want you to become my real daughter." The words surprised Ginadella. She thought of the unpleasant things in the past and assumed that Waleka would repeat them. But unexpectedly he said, "If you truly become family with me, such words won't be able to shake you anymore. I have never had a family either, but I will try my best." The maid Lanier, who was beside them, reminded Waleka that what he was saying was completely different from the rehearsal. However, he did not see this as a problem because these were his most sincere words. At this moment Pave appeared behind Ginadella. "Ginadella, you are surprised, are not you? Although I have always jokingly stopped him, that idiot will become a pretty good father. He will become a foster father who will care for you with all his heart." Ginadella became hazy. "Ancestor, I know Lord Waleka is a very gentle person. Even Lanier is very kind. Why are you all so good to me?" Ginadella began to open up. "Actually, for a long time I have wanted someone to rely on, but I am useless, so I am always afraid of bothering others." "Really? Can I really become your daughter, Lord Waleka?" Her question made both of them pause their actions. "Child like me." Waleka smiled with satisfaction. He hugged Ginadella tightly. "Of course. Lanier heard it too. She is my witness, so you can't take it back. So, daughter, should we go out to celebrate becoming a family?" Perhaps because he was too excited, Waleka did not realize it was late at night, so Pave gave him a good beating. Amidst the joy, Ginadella sobbed because now she had a real family. Pave also shared this joy with her. That night, Waleka was sipping tea in a corner of the garden. Suddenly, he heard a small voice. "Waleka, do you have something to say?" It turned out that Pave had swapped bodies with Ginadella and came to her disciple. "Is Ginadella asleep?" "Yes, she seems tired." Waleka picked up the letter in his hand and said, "I just received a report about the person who will accompany our Casto. Apparently, our Casto and his son Aquis will come here. He said since they are of similar age, they will surely become good friends." Pave pouted. "I guess so. I clearly remember Ginadella being submerged in the water." Waleka felt extremely troubled by this awkward letter. He softly said, "Anyway, the stage is set and the actors are ready. As long as everything goes according to plan, things will probably end. By the end, Master will probably..." Waleka sighed deeply. "What is it, Waleka? What will we do if Master gets mad and messes everything up?" "What?" He immediately jumped up. "I was just kidding. Anyway, I have said what I wanted to say. You need to be careful with Aquis. I have things to do, so I will go in first. Don't even think about reading that book." Before leaving, Waleka reminded Pave, "Master, Although you are 150 years old, this body is still your daughter's. Worry about yourself first, Waleka. You are young but you have such dark circles under your eyes. Aren't you worried about that? You fool, it is almost over. After tomorrow's party, our mission here will be complete. The next morning, Lanier woke up early to prepare for the party. Pave, in elegant attire, asked, "Is the secret room where I will meet our casto ready?" "Of course, miss. You have worked hard, Lanier. After today, I can finally stop pretending to be Waleka's daughter. Yes, and I will finally be able to use my vacation days. I bet Lord Waleka will cry like a baby after this." As she spoke, Lanier's face became heavy. "Lord Pave Closier, I have created a secret defensive barrier in the room. Even a small explosion won't make any sound." This information immediately caught Pave's attention. "That room is brilliantly designed. Thank you for telling me, Lanier." After finishing the preparations, Pave was carried out to the balcony by Waleka to point out the important figures Pave needed to know. "That person over there is the head of the Mardika family. He is the chief mage in the palace, and also a tycoon among merchants. And that one is the guardian of the Western Magic Tower. Since they are very perceptive, be careful not to be discovered." All right. There is a curse on my true power, and I have cast a defensive spell on myself." Waleka was about to give more warnings, but Pave seemed too tired of listening and covered his mouth. "Why are you so talkative today? This party is to introduce my daughter," Waleka replied. "I just want you to remember that there are other people here today. Don't lose your temper when you face our casto. Even if Aquis acts friendly, do not show any displeasure, okay? All right. I will try." Pave's expression changed when she saw Aquis and his father. Inside the hall, the party was about to begin. The merchants and others were all immersed in the lively atmosphere, including Aquis and his father. Pave wondered how that blue-haired brat could smile so shamelessly, especially after the suffering Ginadella had endured. Her expression changed since Ginadella said, "Grandmother, I am fine. Me. Have not heard the truth yet. Can wait. I have my people and my future father by my side, so I am not afraid. Don't worry about me." At this moment, Waleka called her name, Crushiel. "What do you think of the party I prepared for you, my daughter? Do you like it?" Pave suddenly woke up. "That is right. All of this is for Ginadella." She took Waleka's hand. "I like it very much, father. I can't let my anger ruin this atmosphere, because the plan will start from now." At this moment, Waleka announced, "Allow me to introduce the reason for this party and the most important person to me. This is Crucial, my daughter, and the most adorable girl in the world. I know many of you will be surprised by this sudden announcement, but I also did not know I had such a lovely daughter." The continuous affectionate gestures made Pave want to vomit. "In other words, today's main character is my daughter. Let us all eat, drink, and have fun." A merchant woman interrupted Waleka. "Lord Waleka, congratulations on having a daughter. I have prepared a small gift for the young lady." Understanding her intentions, he told her to give it to Lanier. Another sweet word poured into Pave's ears, and the way Waleka responded made her change her mind. She thought her foolish disciple had finally grown up a lot. "Looking at him like this, I can relax a bit." But not long after, Pave's expression changed. This familiar feeling. "Waleka, this aura. Could it be? Master, you recognized it. Since this is a long-awaited party, I have invited a special guest, Rayoti Ricardo, a descendant of Hiron. What do you think? They look exactly alike, right?" Glancing at Pave, she seemed to have a slight crush on the white-haired boy. "You never stop when it comes to Hiron, do you?" Next, Waleka moved the guests aside because it was time for him to spend time with his daughter. "Master, let us go greet Rayoti. Is it okay? I do not want to scare him." "No way, he is my guest." Ginadella appeared and wondered about Rayoti's identity. "Oh no, I forgot to introduce him. This is the descendant of my beloved apprentice Hiron." Hiron sounds familiar. Hiron is also related to the Closier family. He is also the father of Olidarin Closier, the first head of the family. Ginadella was incredulous to learn that Hiron was the father of the former head. What is the relationship between the ancestor and Hiron? Is he a descendant of that child? How exciting. "Ginadella, can I borrow your body to greet him for a moment?" "Oh yes, of course. Thank you." Then, just for a moment. Pave had only taken a few steps when an obstacle appeared. Aquis blocked her way. "Hello, sister. Where are you going in such a hurry? You did not even look at me." "I have been waiting to greet you." Pave immediately showed displeasure. "Aquis, you impudent brat." She had to calm herself down to prevent things from getting messy. "Please excuse this late greeting, Aquis Closier. I am Lord Waleka's daughter, Ginadella." Pave muttered. "I know I am the youngest here, do not call me Crushy." "See. Then call me Crucial. You can call me Ka. Pave seemed disillusioned. She could not believe this brat was any different. Suddenly Ryota intervened. That is enough, young Master Crush. It is impolite to be friendly without reciprocation. More importantly, Miss Closier looks uncomfortable. It is a pleasure to meet you, Miss Closier. I am Ryota Ricardo. Hello, young master. If no one else was there, Pave might have hugged the boy for his politeness. Are you a descendant of Hiron, the one who created the Ricardo family? Yes, he is my 5th-generation ancestor. It is a pleasure to meet you. And can we be friends? Pave's 180-degree change in attitude not only made Waleka choke, but even Aquis could not believe his eyes. Be friends. Ryota, on the other hand, shyly agreed, sure, if you want. Waleka immediately grabbed Pave. Crucial, the greetings are over, so let us go. I can't leave you alone with these two wolves. But we have only just greeted each other. Suddenly, a bone-chilling voice rang out. There you are, Lord Waleka. This voice, it was Arcasto. Are you enjoying this party? After Waleka's question, Arcasto stepped forward. I am very pleased. I see you have met my son. His introduction seemed a little late. Pave, however, had a different view of this man. She did not like anything about Arcasto. Arcasto looked at Pave, hesitating. Excuse me, I seem to have interrupted your conversation with your daughter. Just because her hair and eye color changed, you did not recognize your own daughter, Pave thought. Waleka did not complain further. Neither did Pave. She only showed a little discomfort. Seeing his master like this, Waleka guessed that her energy flow was affected, making her completely different from before. Pave simply said that it was because things were progressing too fast, and she would definitely catch up. After saying that, Pave became pensive. Waleka comforted her with sweet words. After that, he teased Pave about the two brats with opposite personalities, making Pave angry. What are you talking about? Master, those brats know who is cuter. Alright, let us go. In the study, Arcasto expressed interest because he did not know Waleka had such a place in the basement. He humbly said that he just wanted to prepare everything. Because my daughter might want to play here. You two seem very close. Course we are family. Speaking of which, Arcasto changed the subject. He asked Waleka about the purpose of this secret exchange. What do you want to talk to me about? As you know, I have been alone for a long time. But now I have a daughter. Although I have many worries. When I am no longer in this world, who will protect the family? Arcasto admitted it was a valid concern. Waleka whispered in the girl's ear that he would place a lot of expectations on his daughter. Next, Waleka cast a type of magic on Arcasto's ear. Alright, now only we can hear this. He lifted Pave up and began the main purpose of the conversation. Now I will be blunt. I want the Closier family to be the first to ally with my family. And your family originated from my master's family, so I have great trust in you. What do you think, Arcasto? He did not reply but just smiled cryptically. After a few dozen seconds, Arcasto replied, of course, that is an attractive offer. It would be an honor if my family could help you. Good thinking, the two families can help each other. At that moment, suspicion arose within Pave. Good, that is settled then. Moving on to the second step of the plan, Waleka said, but there is something I find puzzling. Something that puzzles you. Yes, it concerns your third daughter. Pave immediately returned to Ginadella's side. Because from now on, the conversation would involve scary stories, so she offered to cover the girl's ears for a while. Although she really wanted to know some things from Waleka, Ginadella still accepted the request. I trust you, grandmother. Back in reality, Arcasto immediately asked, are you talking about Ginadella? Yes, from what I have heard, she has a problem. I have been very careful not to let it show on the outside. You know how small this world is. So it is true, even after turning 10, she still can't control even the lowest level spirit. Arcasto confirmed this. Waleka went straight to the point, questioning Arcasto, are you okay with that? She is useless, you know. Pave's face became serious. Perhaps she did not expect her disciple to be so harsh. As for Ginadella, she sensed something different about her grandmother's attitude and became suspicious. What is wrong, grandmother? Nothing. Outside, Waleka continued his presentation. Are you a member of the Closier family, yet so useless and incompetent? To prevent Ginadella from overhearing their discussion, Pave interjected with compliments for the little girl. Despite their ongoing argument, she caressed Ginadella like a devoted mother, saying, and you were also adopted by the half-dragon Waleka. You are truly an admirably brave child. Waleka grew angrier, his words becoming increasingly arrogant. He declared, your family will work with my daughter, and I do not want any weaknesses. For Pave and Ginadella, their space became warmer than ever. Pave continuously reassured the little girl, just by existing, you are worthy of love. Are you ready to hear the truth? Ginadella gently closed her eyes in agreement. Arcasto, after hearing Waleka's opinion, fell silent once more. This caused both of them to reach an impasse. You do not need to worry about that. What do you mean, Arcasto? It is exactly like that. He said that as for Ginadella, they had already dealt with her. Ginadella was stunned. Father, what are you saying? Arcasto replied, as you said, there can't be any useless children in the Krosh family. So I eliminated it. This time the little girl heard it clearly. Her father had actually caused her. It is probably lying at the bottom of the lake now. The venomous words echoed one after another. Did you order someone to kill me? Pave became immobile at the cruelty and callousness of Arcasto, a man unworthy of being a father. She pressed her lips together, constantly reproaching him. You still have to be cruel until the very last moment. But realizing the issue, Pave quickly turned to Ginadella to comfort her. Unexpectedly, a strong gust of wind blew past, blinding Pave. Little Ginadella burst into tears, but at the same time, she seemed to have awakened her powers. Pave was completely overtaken by Ginadella, who, in Waleka's arms, strongly questioned Arcasto. Father, did you really order my death? Little girl, what are you talking about? Ginadella asked loudly. Father, was it you? Did you really order your subordinates and Aquis to drown me at the bottom of the lake? Because I was useless. Because I was the family's disappointment. Because I could not summon even the lowest level spirit. Because of that. You killed me, did not you? Were you ashamed of me constantly living as a superfluous person in the Closier family? Arcasto's eyes widened in astonishment. He struggled to get up, incredulous that this strange child could know everything he had done. Sir Waleka, what is Miss Crushiel talking about? Waleka softly replied, You are wrong, Arcasto. He was once again astonished. Waleka gently stroked the little girl's hair. This is not Crushiel, but Ginadella Closier, your third daughter. Ginadella. Arcasto recoiled. Now it was the little girl's turn to interrogate. Ginadella softly called out to her father. I thought you loved me even just a little. Even if it was not as much as my other siblings. Even if it was only as much as you would love a pet. Just a little, a very small amount. Have you ever loved me? Even just once, even for a moment. I do not care if you lie, father. If you tell me even just once that you ever considered me your daughter, I can forgive everything. Arcasto became hesitant. His previously firm voice turned bitter. I do not know how you are still alive. But since you ask me so seriously, I will answer, Ginadella. I never considered you my daughter. The little girl was instantly speechless. That is why I did not hesitate when I ordered you to be drowned in the lake. To me you. Shut up, Pave shouted, regaining control of the little girl. I do not want to hear you speak anymore. Noticing the change in demeanor, Arcasto questioned, Who are you? Does that matter? Pave began to deploy her magic. The situation was so urgent that Arcasto could not react in time. In less than a second, he was knocked back by Pave's attack. You will die here today. She broke the barrier of a high-level spirit with just a wave of her hand. Not stopping there, Pave continued her actions. With a flick of her wrist, ice crystals transformed into tiny rays of light, shooting straight towards Arcasto. This time he reacted, countering with his wooden wall. Then, hiding behind a stable shield, he questioned Waleka. Sir Waleka, what is the meaning of this? Wouldn't it be faster to just ask your own conscience? Do you want to become an enemy of the Closier family? No, to be frank. I will not attack your family. I will attack you, Arcasto. Of course, we also plan to clean up that house. You see, I am extremely angry. Pave transformed her power into sharp iron cuts. The table Arcasto was hiding behind was split in two. Unfortunately, Sir Waleka, then allow me to warn you. I do not intend to harm your daughter. I am just trying to drive away the one impersonating your daughter. His words remained as heartless as ever. Pave was instantly enraged. She created a massive body of water above. Then brought it down on Arcasto without mercy. Arrogant bastard, you have sealed your own fate. First I will knock him down and then... Suddenly, the ground beneath Pave shifted. Countless hands emerged, aiming for Pave's body. Unfortunately, one hand caught her leg. Then pulled Pave into an undefined dimension controlled by Arcasto. He emerged from the mist, implying that Arcasto had successfully summoned a spirit. A highest-level earth spirit. That is enough to take care of her, right? He gloated. However, that foolish spirit was completely blown away by Pave. She returned with a firm oath. I see you are using a lot of power. Even though you are nothing but trash. Before Arcasto and his monstrous spirit, Pave taunted, Is that all? You said you would hurt me. Arcasto was furious at being provoked by a brat. He began to focus his energy to attack Pave like a hunting dog. The ground started shaking again, but not a single attack landed on Pave. Outsiders like Waleka felt pity for his fate. But he was actually regretting that the next room had been destroyed. Liner would beat him up. Pave, with her absolute power, maintained her composure. Arcasto was immobile, all his attacks neutralized. At this moment, a giant root emerged from the ground. It not only sprouted into a tree but also grew immensely large. Sensing danger, Pave immediately cast a spell. A jet of water shot into the air, spreading its surface area upon contact. Finally, the giant tree seemed confused. Arcasto became worried as inscriptions increasingly encroached upon the tree. What is she planning to do with it? Pave simply blew a gentle breath towards Arcasto. Cracking sounds echoed from his location. Only then did Arcasto realize something. The sounds were coming from the giant tree. It had completely turned to ice and was about to shatter into pieces. In less than a second, everything was blown away. Pave moved closer to Arcasto. The battle continued as Pave darkened her magic. Although still water-based, this mass completely overwhelmed Arcasto's power. Even though he realized the problem, he could not do anything. Arcasto directly took the attack. Pave gradually approached him. Based on your confidence, I am somewhat disappointed. You made a pact with the highest level spirit, and this is all you can do. You have no talent whatsoever. Honestly, I feel sorry for your spirit. It is unfortunate that it chose the wrong master. With that, Pave switched to another spell. The air became dense as smoke from Pave's magic appeared. Upon inhaling it, Arcasto coughed up blood due to the poison within the smoke. Don't pretend to be in pain. Ginadella suffered far more than you. He struggled to ask Pave, why are you doing this? For what reason? Why are you attacking me? You still have not realized your mistake, Pave retorted. She yelled at him, you weakling. I am only trampling on you because you are weak, just like you did to Ginadella. Didn't you say that incompetence is a sin and that it endangers your own bloodline? Don't think that defeating me is the end. The Closier family will. A loud crack reverberated. Pave stepped forward with a warning. I do not want to hear the word Krosh come out of your mouth. Starting with you, I will eliminate all the trash in your family, including everyone who had a hand in Ginadella's death. All of you will receive your deserved punishment. Who gives you the right to do that? Arcasto responded. Have enough right. Because the surname you are using is mine. This truth quickly wiped away Arcasto's astonishment. Pave recounted 150 years ago, I was the one who founded the Krosh family and placed young Aritharan as its leader. I am the master of this house. Because I granted you everything you enjoy, I have the right to take it all back. As the founder of the Krosh family, I expel you, the current head of Krosh, permanently from the family. Your title will be stripped, as well as your surname. The same punishment will be given to those who insulted Ginadella, those who harmed the child worthy of bearing the Krosh name. I do not need such trash in my family. Arcasto burst into tears. You really? His action puzzled Pave. Why is he crying? I have gone far enough. If I wanted to, I could destroy everything, but for Ginadella, I will. Suddenly Arcasto spoke again. Do you really think you can do that? Even if you truly are Pave Closier, you can't confront the entire Closier family. Or are you thinking of borrowing the half-dragon's power to judge the family? Even ants, when gathered, can bring down a lion. The family's existence itself is a source of power. Closier will never fall. Enough, Pave shouted. Ginadella, I am sorry. I tried to restrain myself for you. Next, she called for Waleka, but he was writing an apology letter to Lanier. Right, you are not wrong. People like you are no different from weeds. So if I do not uproot you, you will grow back. Thanks to you, I have changed my mind. From this moment on, anyone bearing the Closier name will no longer have any connection with spirits. This command greatly impacted the Krosh family. Arcasto no longer struggled as he had before. The sky seemed to fall on Arcasto when he was expelled from the founder of the family he had built for so long, and even the relationship between him and the spirits would end from this point on. Waleka just quietly observed from the side. He seemed satisfied with the consequences Arcasto had to face for daring to treat Ginadella that way. The wind started to pick up. The entire room where the three of them were was overturned by Pave's anger. Arcasto coughed a few times due to the serious injuries he sustained after the battle with Pave. Pave spoke, you have broken your promise. You have broken the covenant in the name of Pave Krosh. So ask the Masters of Blessings to take back that power. Just then, a mysterious figure appeared in the middle of the room. He possessed an aura of unrestrained power and was delighted to see Pave again. It has been a long time. This guy was Sylph, one of the people who lived in the same era as Pave before. Seeing Pave, Sylph reacted as if he had met a soulmate again and became excited. He embraced Pave roughly, muttering, "It is really Pave. Let go of me, Sylph, you have not thought you are a bit harsh after all these years. I consider that a part of your charm." After speaking for a while, Sylph noticed Pave's physique. "Why are you so small? I do not know either." "Now get off me," Pave replied. As for Arcasto, he seemed astonished to see Sylph, a spirit with incredibly terrifying power. From here, Sylph's true identity was revealed. He was the king of the wind spirits. Sylph asked Pave, "What do you mean the covenant is broken? Didn't you create it to protect the people of the Crush family?" Pave sighed. "She said that the situation has changed in many ways since the time the covenant was established." Sylph's expression became serious. He realized Pave was very angry. His eyes turned towards Arcasto. He assumed that this guy was the source of the incident. "Is it this person who made you angry?" Without waiting for Pave's reply, Sylph used his Wind King powers to torture him, repeatedly causing him pain, even making him cough up blood. Pave stopped Sylph only because she was afraid Arcasto would die. "That is enough. His punishment is not for you to decide." Obeying Pave's words, Sylph withdrew his power. Naturally, everything here was devastated to the point of being unsafe. Deep cracks that seemed bottomless continuously appeared on the ceiling. Moreover, in the sky, loud thunderclaps struck Waleka's castle. Whether by accident or intention, that lightning bolt struck the crack in the ceiling, causing huge fragments to be destroyed and fall towards Pave. A strong woman appeared in an instant. She used her muscular body to shield Pave. It turned out that she was also a king of the spirit world, similar to Sylph. Noah was the king of the earth spirits. It had been a long time since the three of them had a chance to reunite. Sylph teased Noah just because she broke the wall to protect Pave. The main matters still had not been resolved. Pave looked straight at Arcasto. "So now, let us continue our conversation. What were you saying?" The two spirit kings stood behind Pave to ensure her safety, although this was quite redundant. It was known that the harmony between the spirits, which always surrounded him, could no longer be felt. Arcasto suddenly burst out laughing. "Are the records real? Are you really friends with the spirit kings? What are you going to do with the other members of the family?" Pave said that others would decide their fate for her. After finishing her words, Pave called Ginadella in her mind. "Winnie, can you hear me?" "Yes, grandmother." "You are brave to still be awake. I am sorry for ruining your plan." Pave interrupted her. "You did not ruin anything. Look, everything is going according to plan. The one who should apologize is your father. Because Arcasto's position has been revoked, the Crush family currently has no leader, so the only one I recognize as my family. Winadella Crush, from now on, you will be the leader of the Crush family." The girl was stunned by the supreme judgment from Pave. But perhaps the most shocked person was Arcasto. Ginadella intended to refuse, but Pave reassured her that she had no reason to worry or be anxious about it. "This means Ginadella has the right to choose," Pave said. "You can choose to become the only Crush, or you can choose to forgive those who have committed lesser offenses and accept them as members of the family. I will let you decide everything." Ginadella pursed her lips. She squeezed Pave's hand, unable to believe her eyes. "I do not know if I can do better. I do not even have enough confidence to do it well." But, in the end, Ginadella agreed and accepted the burden of the entire family on her shoulders. Because now she was no longer alone in front of Pave, Ginadella vowed, "I will try to become a worthy leader of the Crush family. I have sister Lanier. And father Waleka too. And grandmother beside me, I can do it." Arcasto vehemently protested. He could not accept the fact that he had to pass the throne to the daughter who once tried to take her life. "This can't happen. Ancestor, how could you do this?" His voice echoed in Ginadella's space. "Are you there? I will say what you want to hear. Course I can say those trivial words. I will smile at you, praise you, and always pay attention to you. I will treat you very well, so give up that position. It is not your place." Unfortunately for him, only Pave heard these sweet words. The flames of hatred in Pave surged again when she heard the words from Arcasto. She immediately pointed her hand towards him. "Arcasto, it seems you have not learned your lesson yet." As she was about to take action, Ginadella absolutely stopped her. She pushed Pave's hand in a different direction and said, "Wait, grandmother. I want to talk to him myself." Finally, Ginadella came to Arcasto's side. "Father, please stop. It is true that I wanted your love, but I won't beg for your love anymore. I won't make myself suffer anymore." She continued, "At first I thought it was all my fault, but now I understand. If I have to lower myself and lose myself to receive love, then that love is meaningless. So, grandmother, let us go quickly. Ginadella turned away. He is not even worth being punished by you. In the end, only Arcasto remained with his torment. Just then, the hesitant sound of the door opening came. Aquis rushed into the audience chamber. His voice bitter, "Father, the estate has collapsed." This suddenness startled Ginadella. The two then looked at each other in astonishment. Aquis seemed unable to believe his eyes. "Sister. Ginadella, you are still alive. Strange, I thought you were dead." Ginadella tried to stay calm. She walked past Aquis with her head held high. "Wait," Aquis grabbed her hand. "I am not finished. Cruciel used to wear those clothes. So you used magic to change your hair color." The more he spoke, the more disgusted his eyes became. "This suits you. I wonder what would happen if I sprayed water on you like I did before. It is great to see you like a drenched rat. It is good that you are alive." Ginadella decisively pulled Aquis's hand away from her. Next, she asked Pave to come to her for a moment. "I do not know which way to go." Ginadella suddenly thought, "It is not difficult to remove you from my life, because I do not have any regrets about the Crush family anymore." Standing next to Aquis, Ginadella had enough courage to ask the brat to move out of her way. "Now I have a family with people who truly care about me. Goodbye, father. Goodbye, little brother. I hope to never see you again." Ginadella swapped bodies with Pave. Then they left with the two spirit kings in joy. She asked Ginadella, "Are you still awake?" "Yes, grandmother. I apologize for making you the leader without discussing it with you first." "Did it surprise you?" The girl said it was a bit unexpected, but it was no problem. Moreover, she felt happy that she did that. "Grandmother Pave, I know my girl will do very well." Noah and Sylph whispered to each other when they heard Pave's gentle voice. "She treats us differently. Does not she?" "No, only you, because all you and Selen do is bother her." "What? Take that back right now. Compared to Selion, I am practically a saint." "That is also true, but..." The heated argument became so loud that it tired Pave's ears. She told them to shut their mouths because they were too noisy. However, Pave was still glad that Selen did not appear. "I placed a curse on my own soul for fear that this might happen." After a while, Noah told Pave to rest on the rock over there because everything had calmed down. "Thank you, Noah." Sylph immediately chimed in. "What about my place? You still have work to do, Sylph." Noah carried the wind spirit away from Pave's place so she could rest completely. Under the night sky, Pave looked at the shining stars above and felt truly relaxed. "Hey, I know how painful and difficult it has been for you, so thank you for taking my hand." Ginadella replied, "I am the one who should thank you. Thank you for not hesitating and continuing to reach out your hand. Thank you for helping me find the motivation to live on." A few days later, Waleka returned to his usual work routine. He was still sighing over the pile of work as usual. Pave came to his room with 2 cups of warm tea. "Working hard, Waleka, master." He hugged Pave and complained, "Master, I really thought I was going to die. I even blocked the messenger birds. Where's Lanier? She went for a nap." "So, master, do you know what Lanier said earlier?" Rewinding to a few minutes ago when Lanier was still in the office, she kept writing diligently. "Do you know, boss? As soon as the situation is completely stabilized, I plan to use all 60 days of my leave." Pave sympathized with Lanier because of her heavy workload, and told Waleka to let Lanier rest for a while. Waleka, on the other hand, held his head because he could not manage everything alone without Lanier by his side. Unable to relieve his stress, Waleka hugged his master again. He whispered, "I guess I can't complain because I have both of you and Winnie. You and Winnie have also worked very hard, master." But after a second, Waleka cried out loud because he was worried about the little girl. "My daughter, are you in there? In the end, you are not despairing because of that bastard, right? She is just sleeping." "Calm down," Pave replied. "She must be very tired. Sleep well, Winnie. I also want to say thank you." "Thank you, Waleka. We could have come this far thanks to you." Waleka's nostrils flared. "If you know that, you should treat me better. It is not over yet, and we still have a long way to go." The following period was indeed a remarkable change. Waleka, in birthday attire, was extremely happy. It turned out that today, Ginadella was the main character of the party. An extremely lavish dinner table, cooked by Lanier herself, was brought in. Ginadella felt very happy because it had been a long time since she had experienced this feeling. "Actually, I am still not very happy because even though I am the head of the family, I am still the only member." Waleka comforted her. "That is good too. I am also the only member, but look at me, I am fine." Lanier replied, "Boss, your situation is not very common. You are still making a valid point. A powerful person can have a big influence even alone. And you, Miss Ginadella, are the heir and adopted daughter of those powerful people." Waleka soothed Ginadella. "That is right, so you do not need to feel discouraged. If anyone wants to mess with my daughter, I will." Lanier immediately covered his mouth. Let us skip that topic for now. Today is an anniversary. That is right. After what you have been through, you should eat all the best dishes. Boss, what about my vacation? Shall we start with the 85 vintage wine, my vacation, boss? The two got into an argument, forcing Pave to appear to quell the chaos. Dessert was also served. Lanier tasted a bit of the flavor and found the soup incredibly delicious. Is it the chef who cooked this? No, it was me, Pave replied. Amazing. Is there anything you can't do, Miss Pave? Before they could be happy for long, Waleka threw cold water on her face. You used magic to cook that stew. Master is terrible at cooking. Recalling old memories, anyone who ate her cooking felt like the world was ending. We told you to stop, but you kept going until I fainted. So what? Magic is still my skill. Don't spoil everyone's mood. We are here to celebrate. Pave snuggled into Ginadela's arms. Do you want to eat anything else? Just let me know. Well then, I want to eat a sponge cake. With just a snap of her fingers, Pave conjured a giant sponge cake using her magic. Sylph suddenly appeared, also wanting a piece from Pave. His sudden appearance made the atmosphere scary. You are still here? What do you mean? Did you forget I have been here all along? Sylph immediately snitched on Pave, but she told Waleka to kick him out of the place. Lanier replied, but he is still an elemental king. Maybe we should not treat him so badly. She poured Sylph a glass of wine. Have a drink, king of the wind spirits. Seems that hope and etiquette still exist in the human world. Thank you. What is your name? Sylph savored the drink and was touched. However, when he heard Waleka ask when the old fuddy-duddy was leaving, Sylph started to tear up from hurt. I do not know. Noah left right away, did not she? Sylph burst into tears again. Pave, this really hurts. 150 years ago, I listened to your unreasonable request, and while you were gone, I tried to keep the blessings existing in the Krosh family, and when you said the covenant was broken, I showed up right away. Yeah, I am very grateful for those things. You are the only one who treats me so cruelly, Pave. Elementalists have to try their best just to get a glimpse of me. An elementalist who makes a contract with an elemental king is even stronger than an archmage. Suddenly, Pave lowered her voice. I forgot something extremely important. She asked Waleka where Arcasto was being held. He is being held under the warehouse of the market. Pave muttered, I have a feeling. Yesterday I let him off too easily. She gritted her teeth as she recounted. He talked about me as if I were an elemental mage. He deserves to be punished. So you want to see him because you forgot to punish him? Yeah, how dare he call me an elementalist? Does he know how much effort I put into mastering magic? It is not fair at all when all he needs to do as an elementalist is to make a contract with a compatible element. How dare he look down on mages? He has crossed the line. Waleka suspiciously removed the box Pave was eating from. It was labeled whiskey candy. Wait, I think Master is drunk. The more she spoke, the more furious Pave became. It is all because of those aimless elementals. They make contracts indiscriminately with anyone who is elementally compatible. That is why the family was destroyed and society declined. Sylph stepped forward to calm Pave down. I am still here. Yeah, and you, wind god, repeat what you said to me earlier. What do you mean? Pave grabbed Sylph by the collar. Did you say that an elementalist who makes a contract with an elemental king is stronger than an archmage? Do you mean there is an elementalist stronger than me? No, I was just speaking in general terms. Waleka, fearing the situation would get out of control, told Sylph to get out of the place. So Sylph sat huddled in a corner of the large room. This is even more tiring than cleaning up your mess yesterday. I feel that way almost every day, Lanier replied. Finally, Pave was really drunk. Waleka also allowed Lanier to have a long vacation after her contributions. And you stop it, Master. I will only hit him once. Waleka held Pave tightly, constantly calling for Ginadela's help. She appeared and said to Pave, Ancestor, he is not worth your time, so do not be angry. You are such a cute little girl. Aren't you adorable, my daughter? I have a request. Can you do something with the Ancestor? Waleka said. However, Pave was one step ahead. She reassured Ginadela that she still had a lot of energy. Waleka's voice came. I want my daughter to take control so Pave can rest. So the little girl obeyed and performed the swap. In the end, Pave was trapped inside and listened to the father and daughter sweet talk to each other. But because of the effects of the whiskey candy Pave had eaten earlier, Ginadela felt dizzy from the alcohol. Waleka immediately picked her up. It would be better if my daughter went to sleep too. But I thought you had something to discuss with the Ancestor. You can wait until I wake up. Really, then I will sleep for a bit. Ginadela gently closed her eyes. Finally, the little girl really fell asleep due to the alcohol. Waleka quickly carried her back to his room. Scene change, a dark corridor with only a few flickering flames. This was the prison for special prisoners. Suddenly, someone entered, specifically in front of the cell where Arcasto was being held. He was still muttering about his family's position. The next morning, Waleka woke up cheerfully. "Good morning, master. Gosh, it looks like your jaw is about to drop off." He sleepily went to Winadella's place. "Did you sleep well? You fainted yesterday." "What about the wind spirit, that conservative old man?" She then said. "I could barely soothe him and make him go back. Next time, do not bring that chocolate again. Anyway, the party's over. I was going to ask what is happening in the outside world." And so Waleka revealed, "Maybe it is because I have maintained friendly relations, but everyone seems to think the Krosh family did it." Winadella sighed and wondered, how did the Krosh family react? A bit chaotic, as they lost all connection to their elements overnight. "You summoned the elemental king and queen that day. Did not you?" They are relieved that they still have the power of water and fire. If those two come back, it will be the end for them, right? They basically can't do anything anymore. I do not think I need to worry about the Krosh family anymore. I will leave the rest to Winnie. "Winnie, have you decided yet?" "Yes, Grandmother Pave." Just like that, Grandmother let Winadella come back. "Good. Can you come out now?" Winadella slowly opened her eyes. She was suddenly startled, and at the same time Waleka spoke. "Tell me what you have decided as the new leader of the Krosh family." After a few seconds of thought, Winadella made her decision. "I want to accompany the other members of the Krosh family and move forward together. The children did nothing wrong. If the children grow up unhappy because their families are ruined because of me, I will feel remorseful." Waleka was moved by her answer. "I had a feeling you would think that way. So you are only accepting the children, right? I want to listen to as many people as possible. Just because they are adults does not mean they are all bad." Waleka said happily. "All right, but it won't be easy. You will be caught in some uncomfortable situations. Are you okay with that?" However, Winadella seemed very confident. "I will be fine because I am not alone anymore. I am sorry for making difficult requests, but I still want to try." The little girl's words surprised Waleka with her maturity. He replied with a smile, "How can I refuse if my daughter wants to do it? I will keep what you said in mind when I make plans for the future." Suddenly, his tone shifted to a demanding one. "But before we begin, there is something you must do." Waleka's change in attitude left Winadella bewildered. "Something I must do." Some time later, the scene shifted to a craft shop. Winadella arrived with her father, both dressed in formal attire. Seeing them, Grant approached and greeted them. "It has been quite a while since you last visited Grant's studio." Waleka expressed surprise. "This place looks cleaner than usual." "Why did you suddenly clean up?" Grant explained. "Lania told me today was an important day." Grant gently approached Winadella and greeted her. "Lady Winadella, I am the artist Millyard you met last time." However, something surprised him. He seemed to sense she was different from when they first met. "Has your hair color changed?" Winadella was stunned into silence. "Your eye color too. And there is something else different about you." Winadella teared up, feeling helpless. Grandmother Pave will know what to say. "I guess I am still just a useless brat." Suddenly, Grant fell unusually silent. Then he burst out laughing. "Do you remember why I could not color your hair in your portrait last time? I am glad I seem to finally have the answer." His words seemed to deeply touch Winadella. Even Waleka and Lanier were delighted. Her father gently approached and reassured her. "That is right, my daughter looks even more lovely and adorable today. I want to have a family portrait done today. It is to mark our beginning as a family. What do you think?" Immediately, Winadella agreed to Waleka's suggestion. "Yes, that would be wonderful." He immediately addressed Grant. "I just want to finish the sketch today and then we will go out. Is that all right?" "Yes, of course." However, Winadella wondered, just the sketch. Hearing this, Waleka just smiled brightly. "Once it is finished, there is somewhere we need to go. At this place, Mr. Waleka and Miss Winadella are approved as adoptive father and adopted daughter. Although they grew up differently, they will now walk the same path. And with the power vested in me, I declare you two a family." Both received certificates recognizing them as father and daughter. After the ceremony, Waleka was ecstatic. "How about it, Winnie? We attended the adoption certification ceremony. We are officially father and daughter." Suddenly, Winadella burst into tears of joy. The little girl sobbed. "I am so happy I can't believe it." Witnessing this, Waleka was speechless. Then he laughed with happiness. "You scared me there. No one can choose where they are born, but now it is different. You and I chose each other, right?" Winadella gazed up at her father's figure. "Yes, I think I understand now. The meaning of a real family." Winadella asked excitedly. "So what should I do now?" However, Waleka did not quite understand her desire. "What do you mean?" So she elaborated. "What do I need to do to rebuild the clan? I am the head of the Krosh clan now. I'm trying to figure out what I need to do to be a good head. First I have to revive this ruined clan, right? No, before that I should get people to join the clan first. Suddenly, Waleka gently patted her head. I understand you are worried, but there is no need to rush. Take your time and rest. We still have some business to finish here anyway. After hearing her father's comforting words, Winadella gradually regained her composure. I understand. However, her demeanor contradicted her words. Her worried expression makes her seem like a good head of the family already. Pave appeared once again to reassure Winadella. No need to worry. We have overcome a huge mountain, have not we? You need to rest too. Although, if you really want to do something, I've got it. What do you think about practicing magic again? Upon hearing the word magic, Winadella's eyes lit up. Hello everyone, I am Winadella. Actually, after Ancestor Pave taught me magic the first time, I have been practicing on my own. I want to show Papa Waleka, Sister Lanier, and Ancestor Pave how cool I am. But Winadella still seemed unsure of herself. She sighed repeatedly with anxiety. Her eyes, however, held a strong determination. In that moment, Winadella focused as hard as she could to cast a spell. However, Pave's appearance disrupted it. She became despondent. I have never successfully cast a spell even once. Despite this, Pave reassured her it is okay. We have been busy these past few days. This is normal. At this point, Winadella suddenly interrupted, Ancestor Pave, I really have been practicing since then. Since my body possesses the power of a high-level mage, I thought I could use magic easily if I just kept practicing. Why can't I use magic? I guess I am just useless and have no talent at all. Seeing this, Pave advised, do you remember what I told you about how spirit magic and true magic are different? Spirit magic requires summoning spirits with whom we must make contracts and borrow their power. If you are lucky, you might summon a high-level spirit, but that power won't be as strong as when you cast a high-level spell directly. I see you understand the gist of it. The core of spirit magic is borrowing power. If the spirit disappears, an ordinary person with only that much will be left behind. Do you remember how Arcasto could not do anything when I took his contracted spirit? What did he look like to you? Tell me, little one. The image of that person resurfaced in Winadella's mind. He seemed dejected and powerless. Ancestor Pave replied, right. That is spirit magic. Because that power is never yours, you can't even argue about it being stolen from you. Unlike that, true magic is a process of ascetic training where you focus on honing yourself. Tearing down the tower you have built or making it sturdier are two things only you can do. The amount of power you possess and training accordingly are also important. However, the most important thing when it comes to magic is to believe in your own power, Winadella. Surprisingly, she successfully cast a spell on a rose. This greatly surprised the little girl. The ancestor added, you have become a strong girl. There is no need to rush. Just take it slowly. Now you know what to do, right? Winadella replied, I think I understand a little. I gained courage when Ancestor Pave held my hand. I could feel the confidence in her touch. If I believe in myself, can do it. Become a suitable head of the Krosh clan and practice magic. Slowly but surely I will achieve it. With my own power. Her words surprised the ancestor. That is a good attitude. My pupil always seems to be a quick learner. Winadella, little one, being the head of the Krosh clan and a great mage are both wonderful. She looked up upon hearing this. But should not you spoil your grandmother by letting her dote on her admirable grandchild? Ancestor Pave suddenly rushed forward and hugged Winadella. You practiced on your own. Oh my, I am so proud of you. How upset were you when you struggled with casting spells even though you practiced so diligently? Keep going, don't hesitate to call me for help. I will come to you immediately. To Ancestor Pave, whether you are a great mage or not does not matter. She always thinks you being yourself is wonderful. Enough. I will do it again. Ginadella was trying to cast a spell to make the rose bloom. Suddenly, a large rose bloomed. And then the ones next to it also bloomed one after another. Ginadella was so happy she could not speak. I did it, I can finally do magic. What do you think, Grandmother Pave? Seeing Grandmother Pave crying, Ginadella rushed over and asked, what is wrong? Did I do something wrong? Pave wiped her tears and said, I am sorry, did I startle you? I am just so moved. Seeing the child who was willing to entrust her body to me grow up like this. Pave sat down and caressed Ginadella's cheek. Yes, I see. You did it on your own. I am so proud of you. Afterwards, Pave and Ginadella went to see Waleka. Let us tell Waleka so you can show him. Holding the rose in his hand, Waleka was quite surprised. Ginadella used magic to make this flower bloom. Yes, it was me. Everyone was amazed by this. Suddenly Waleka remembered an item and hurriedly searched for it. Wait, I need. Where did I put it? Ginadella wondered. What are you looking for, father? Waleka did not say anything and continued searching. A moment later Waleka exclaimed, "Ah, here it is." Ginadella saw the rose placed in a glass cage. "It is beautiful." Waleka told Ginadella, "This is a magic glass cage that can keep anything inside in its original state. It won't wilt in here. Thank you, my daughter. I will use this as motivation whenever I am tired." Ginadella replied, "You do not need to." But before Ginadella could finish her sentence, Waleka interrupted, "And since you are here, I need your opinion." Ginadella was surprised. "My opinion?" Waleka displayed many desserts on the table. "These are some of the dessert samples I received from one of my distribution businesses. I need to eat and evaluate all of them. But I want to eat meat, steak, grilled meat, bacon, sausages, tender and juicy pieces of meat. Even if I leave the taste testing to the experts, I still have to confirm the final list myself. At first I could do it because it was unique and novel, but now I can't anymore." Ginadella consoled Waleka, "Don't cry. I will help you." Waleka immediately thanked Ginadella. So, Ginadella took a bite of the cake. Waleka immediately asked, "What do you think?" Ginadella replied enthusiastically, "It is delicious." Ginadella picked up a quill and asked Waleka, "I just have to write my impressions here, right?" Waleka was quite pleased because Ginadella was doing a great job. Ginadella picked up the cake. "I think this would taste better warmed up." "Really? Do you want me to use magic to heat it up?" Ginadella quickly stopped him. "Wait. I want to try doing it myself." To prepare herself, Ginadella cleared her throat and shouted, "Cake, heat up." Seeing Ginadella do that, Waleka praised her. "That is amazing. My little girl, you have truly become a mage." Ginadella gently cut the cake and offered a piece to Waleka. "You first, father." Say. Suddenly Ginadella remembered, "Oh right, you said you did not like sweets." Not wanting to upset Ginadella, Waleka leaned forward and ate the piece of cake. Waleka smiled, "Oh, it is delicious. It must be because my daughter warmed it up for me. Anyway, when did you learn to use magic? I think this is the first time I have seen you use it." Ginadella Leaninoy. "Grandmother Pave gave me courage." Upon hearing Ginadella's words, Waleka knew that Pave had told Ginadella the story about believing in herself. Waleka patted Ginadella's head. "I can't believe you can do that at this age. Even I took a while." Ginadella continued, "But I am still worried because I feel like I have not acted like a real head of the clan yet." Waleka was taken aback. "Acted like a real head?" Ginadella continued, "Something a little more responsible. I want to be someone dependable, someone who can always be relied on." Listening to what Ginadella said, Waleka thought, "Perhaps I have been a little too busy these past few days." Suddenly, Ginadella exclaimed, "Ah, I want to do things like Lania." Waleka smiled. "What is so special about Lania?" Ginadella said, "She knows everything. I do not even know what a clan leader is supposed to do." Waleka stood up abruptly and said angrily, "Why are you worried about that? You have me. I have been the clan leader for over 100 years. You can ask me anything. Lania is great too, but it has not even been 30 years since she started working for me. I am a half-dragon. I have even witnessed the passing of the throne." As soon as Waleka finished speaking, Ginadella turned and asked, "Have you ever seen the king?" Waleka hesitated. "To become the king, one must meet the archmage, and in fact, I am the only archmage here. What I'm trying to say is, your adoptive father is a great half-dragon. You can't even compare me to Lania." Just then Lania appeared. "Boss. What is it, Lania?" Lania panted, "You have guests." Waleka looked at Lania and asked, "Guests on my land?" Without any announcement. Outside, a group of cloaked figures stood waiting for Waleka. Lania went out first and apologized to everyone. "I apologize for keeping you waiting." Then Waleka went out with Ginadella. Waleka gave a friendly smile. "So, honored guests, what brings you to our mansion?" All the cloaked figures said in unison, "Meet the crown prince of the kingdom, Dicus Ragnator Uminum." Lania felt that the crown prince and his entourage coming together was not a good sign, so she excused herself from Ginadella to go check on the situation. Ginadella closed her eyes in thought. "All right, now let us see." As she observed the group, it seemed her mother was not among them. Waleka led Ginadella closer to the crown prince. "It is an honor to meet you, crown prince." "What brings you here?" Crown Prince Dicus Ragnator Uminum replied solemnly, "Just as expected from a dragon descendant. Your mansion is also unbelievably clean. It is hard to believe such a major accident occurred here not long ago." Seeing that the crown prince had not answered him, Waleka asked again, "I will ask once more, your highness. Why have you come to our mansion?" Dicus Ragnator Uminum growled, "I am here because of the accident that occurred at the party you held here. The building completely collapsed and there were even people missing." Waleka was skeptical. "Is that so?" Dicus Ragnator Uminum continued, "The head of the Krosh clan and his son are among the missing. As royalty, it is my responsibility to mediate between the nobles. That is why I am here, so I expect your cooperation. Hearing this, Ginadella looked at Dicus Ragnator Umanum. No way. Do they really think those knights would be a threat to Waleka, who has dragon blood flowing through his veins and is an archmage? They have no idea who they are dealing with. My dear, what do you want me to do? How do you want me to punish them? I will let you decide. The conversation was tense when someone spoke. Forgive me for interrupting this tense situation, Mr. Waleka. Dicus Ragnator Umanum flinched and turned to ask, what are you doing here? He calmly said, why did you leave the palace without a word, brother? You have made a grave mistake. His Majesty has declared he has no involvement in the situation. Dicus Ragnator Umanum hurriedly stopped his brother. Wait, let me explain. I did this for the prosperity and development of the royal family. Regardless of Dicus Ragnator Umanum's explanations, Onar Ragnator Umanum ordered his disciples to arrest him. Onar Ragnator Umanum approached Waleka. This is truly embarrassing. I apologize to you on his behalf. At the very least, this will make it easier for you to carry out what you need to do now. What do you think? Isn't it easier when you can look down? Waleka replied, you are quite bold, your highness. As a prince, should you treat the crown prince like this in front of other nobles? Onar Ragnator Umanum smiled. I can't let him antagonize the only archmage of the kingdom. Waleka looked at Onar Ragnator Umanum. Are you asking me to forget what happened? Yes, I will promise you, as a member of the royal family. As crown prince, I, Onar Ragnator Umanum, declare that the royal family will not interfere in the conflict between you, Waleka, and the Krosh clan. Suddenly, a disciple shouted, Your Highness, the Grand Prince promised us, if the royal family breaks its promises so easily. Onar Ragnator Umanum angrily brandished his sword. A royal promise? You dare utter those words to me after what His Majesty has said? You should be held accountable for this mistake. Before leaving, Onar Ragnator Umanum asked Waleka again. So, before I go, is there anything else you require? Waleka turned to ask his daughter, should we ask the Grand Prince for an apology? Ginadella immediately replied, I think an apology is not necessary. After saying that, Ginadella thought, there is nothing good to be gained from antagonizing the Grand Prince, even though he looks pathetic. I will let it go. Hearing the answer from Ginadella, Waleka said to Onar Ragnator Umanum, I do not want to complicate things further. Please stay away from this place as promised. Onar Ragnator Umanum knew that Ginadella was the precious daughter Waleka had recently gained. Onar Ragnator Umanum unexpectedly walked over and took Ginadella's hand and kissed it. I must show my respect to the one who has forgiven the royal family's mistake. It is a pleasure to meet you. You may call me Han. Ginadella quickly withdrew her hand. Seeing Waleka's displeased expression, Onar Ragnator Umanum chuckled. It is time for you to be on your way. Yes, I will depart immediately. So, you can spend more time with your daughter then. Waleka seethed inwardly. If you do not leave in the next 3 seconds, I won't let this go. As Onar Ragnator Umanum left, Waleka said to Lania, he really irritates me. Lania advised, you should restrain yourself until no one is around. Waleka looked at the members of the Krosh house left behind. The real problem has not been resolved yet. Waleka suddenly had an idea. That is right. Everyone's faces were filled with fear as they braced themselves to hear what Waleka would say next. Now then, let us see what you have to say for yourselves. Waleka angrily scolded the cloaked figures. In a situation where you should have been kneeling and begging for forgiveness, you tried to borrow and use the royal family's power. So do it. Let us start the conversation you so desperately desired. Despite their pleas for forgiveness, Waleka paid no attention. Daughter, what do you want to do with them? Closier still felt a little apprehensive. Grandmother Pave, can I deal with them myself? Closier's eyes were a little sad, but it seemed she had made up her mind. Have decided. These people do not deserve to be my family. The next day at Waleka's residence. Good morning. Did my daughter sleep well? Closier nodded sleepily, yes. Did you sleep well, father? Seeing her expression, Waleka chuckled. You still look very sleepy. You can sleep a little longer. Closier rubbed her eyes. It is okay. I will wake up soon. Do you think those people will return safely? Waleka's answer startled Closier. I threw them in jail. What kind of reaction is that? I thought you said I could handle them. I really did not think you could make such a decisive decision. Closier expressed her feelings. Because I understand how meaningless it is when apologies and words of love are spoken by someone cornered. I am okay with things as they are now. I will also follow your decision on this matter. When I think about the future, I think it is best not to give them any free time. Waleka nodded with satisfaction. It seems like she has become stronger. Truly my daughter. Closier then added, I have thought about what happened yesterday, and I think it would be best if I personally went to see the Krosh clan. Waleka did not object. Really, as long as you are okay with it, we can go whenever you like. Closier said, yes, but before we do that, I want to go to this place first. It was the prison. Closier came here because she wanted to see this man. Hello. Closier called him father before explaining why she was here. I will go to the Krosh residence today. I will let them know that I am the head of that clan. Yes, that clan will have a new beginning from now on. No one will be considered useless anymore. No one will be considered a mistake or a disappointment. That is the clan I will build. Can do it. I have come this far. So goodbye, father. I will move forward with my own strength. Closier walked with a strong demeanor. Let us go. We are going to the Krosh residence. Waleka opened a portal, starting to play his role. Winnie seems to be ready. What about you, master? Closier said, spatial transfer again. Personally, I do not like this method of travel at all. But I guess we have to do it. Let us go. The guard here seemed to be fast asleep. When he heard the noise, he suddenly woke up. Who is there? Identify yourselves. This is the Krosh residence, the clan blessed by the elements. Waleka coldly repeated, blessed, oh right. With a single move, he destroyed a section of the wall. Instead of going through the main entrance, this seems to be the fastest way. Closier could only sigh. You're too flashy. Waleka calmly replied, I would not call that flashy. Master, look. All the important people are coming out. A blue-haired man ran out to block them. Who are you? How dare you barge into the Krosh residence? Do you want to die? I will teach you a lesson. A woman's voice rang out. Stop it. Closier, hearing this tone, pictured who it was. The woman who could not leave Closier's mind. It was her mother. May I ask who you are? Closier stared at her. The mistress of the clan, Shiquella Krosh. And why did you barge in so noisily? Waleka said without reservation, you want to know who I am. Suddenly, a strange wind blew through the residence. What is this energy? Well, wait a minute. To the surprise of those present, allies appeared beside Closier. I am Waleka, a half-dragon. The blood of the black dragon flows through my veins. I bring the words of the elemental king, along with my daughter. Waleka's words echoed throughout the residence. Everyone started talking about it. Oh my, I never thought I would see the elemental king in my lifetime. So we have not been abandoned. Because of our ancestors' friend, Mr. Waleka has summoned them. They must have come to restore our connection with the elements. Pave was extremely worried. They still have not given up hope. The audacity of these fools. Winnie, are you ready? Closier nodded. Yes, grandmother. Waleka then spoke up. You are gravely mistaken. I did not summon the elemental king. But my daughter did. In her heart, Pave encouraged Closier, tell them yourself. And with a nudge from Waleka, let me introduce her. She is the new head of the Krosh clan. Winadella Krosh is her name. This shocked Shiquella. Then came Closier's short speech. As the new head of the clan, I will rebuild the clan. And in this new clan, there will be those who are not allowed to be a part of it. Closier still had not escaped the gossip. Winadella is the new head of the clan. I thought she was expelled. What is going on? Wait a minute. That girl is taking advantage of the chaos and spouting nonsense. A daughter expelled from the clan because she could not even receive the blessing of the elements is now the head of the clan. I do not accept that. Someone say something, Winadella, if you have any sense. Waleka could not stand someone talking to Closier like that. He grabbed the man by the throat. Don't you dare utter my daughter's name. None of you are worthy of speaking it. Closier gave a wry smile. It is okay, father. I will explain. She took a deep breath before speaking. I do not care if you recognize me or not. Because I have already received recognition from the representative of the Krosh clan. Even the king of the wind element recognizes it. Indeed, I, Sylph, have acknowledged her worthiness. That is enough proof that she deserves that position, is not it? Shiquella trembled. Your Majesty, why? Sylph frowned. Because she is the only one who carries Pave's pride. She loves and respects people. She believes everyone deserves to be happy and loved. But all of you, why did you commit such cruel acts just because Winadella has no power? Everyone who heard Sylph's words was stunned. How have you received the blessing of the elements all this time? It is because Pave wanted it for you. It was not because of any of your abilities. Because you have lost Pave's teachings, you are not worthy of the Krosh name. The man who had been shouting earlier began to fear. But Elemental King, please give us a chance, Waleka said irritably. Fool, You are begging the wrong person. An apology without any sincerity from him. So who is it? Oh right, Winadella. We were wrong. We are sure you must be in a lot of pain. But if we just ask for your sympathy, you are a good girl, are not you? Even our children have lost their connection. It is too cruel. Closier said coldly, if you want to regain the connection, you do not need to act like this in front of me. Their voices still clamored for forgiveness. Please, we promise to show you respect as the head of the clan and swear loyalty to the end of our lives. Closier sighed. The issue is not whether I forgive you or not. I am saying that even if I forgive you and allow you to be a part of the clan, you won't regain the connection. Those words were completely unbelievable to Shaquella. Even Waleka was surprised. Closier continued, the Krosh clan I am building will not have the blessing of the elements. We will become a clan that has broken free from reliance on the connection given to us by others. None of the three, including Waleka, had anticipated this. Pave was also surprised by this. Winnie. Closier, on the other hand, was very happy about it. I'm not sure if you all know, but Grandmother Pave is not an elementalist. She's a mage. Throughout history, she was the most powerful, most talented mage. Closier said these words with great pride. The Krosh clan that I will create will follow Grandmother Pave's will. We will love each other, focus on self-improvement. And our very existence will be cherished. Pave sat lost in thought in the space between worlds. She remembered her own past. Pave herself had done it. She had entrusted the responsibility to that man. The smile on Pave's lips grew wider. Closier's voice continued to soothe everything. So, only those who are interested in a new beginning, in a Krosh clan without any connection to the elements, should come to me. Of course, that does not mean I will accept just anyone who is willing to join.